due to certain fungi.
He seems to struggle with the word fungi. This is magic?
No, it's a
Some magic.
Pretty good. This is magic.
It's magic.
Some of them are.
it's
There's
something
mushrooms.
that eats the dead wood and eats dead wood and grows in soil.
Ah,
I pull
like
one
yeah.
from my pouch and show him, like these.
Good to eat.
Can be or deadly.
Some can be dangerous. Have to be careful.
He smirks at you like you're speaking his own language to him, and kind of ducks his head back down and just looks around at the rest of the group.
There's another man that walks over, and this is somebody who the three who have been there, they know him already. So he walks over and he's standing up and he's put his chest out. He says, "I am Winterwolf. I'm in charge here.
Winter Wolf.
Typically, newcomers
Jothy laughs.
give a gift to stay here that we all may share."
As he says this, I'm gauging the reactions of the rest of the people around the fire.
Jothy has a look of contempt towards Winterwolf on his face.
Got a dismissive, shaking my head kind of like look.
And Heat Stag, make a intelligence check.
I got an 8.
Oh, you're like, I know this guy. He wasn't necessarily from your tribe, but he was nearby. He was from another tribe, and you know that's not his name. That's not his name. His name isn't Winterwolf. His name is Dull Knife.
Dull Knife.
But he's been telling everybody his name's Winterwolf because it sounds cool.
Dull Knife. Why do you tell people that your name is Winterwolf? We know. This is not your name. Dull Knife.
I don't want your stupid food or gifts anyway. And he walks off to find a kid to kick into the stream.
Dull Knife. Dull Knife, don't walk away. don't be
mad.
angry.
He's mad. And
Winter
people are
Wolf.
like, even the kids are like, they're all laughing. A lot of them are giggling. Not when he's looking at them, they're not giggling, but when he turns away, they kind of laugh.
Hey, Tim, let me give you this update real quick, all right, on hero
Okay.
points. Everyone's got 1 with the following exceptions, okay? Daniel the Electron's got 2. Kayla's got 11 more. Okay, but
So
Mike,
she's 42.
yeah, Mike
Give me
does. Mike
11 more?
11 more. Wait, I'm not done. You got 10. DM, and then Mike Disney has 17 more.
Wow. That's 18. Holy cow. Thank you guys. Thank you for being in here today.
My apologies for the issues. I'm trying to figure it out, but I think we're good now.
Is it weather?
No, it's some kind of video conflict. Who knows what they updated with Zoom? If I touch it on Zoom, it goes bonkers. So touching the screen, so I got to just not touch anything. All right,
The question of life, the universe, and everything. That's right.
exactly.
But what is the question? How many hero points before it's just too many? 42. All right. So he walks off, and he's obviously embarrassed and pissed that you have outed him on his real name. And everyone's like, "Oh, that makes so much sense." Everyone's like, "Oh, that is way better it fits way better." That's what everyone kind of thinks. Dull Knife has been outed, so he's like, "Oh, he knows his real name now."
Yeah, we'll have to spread that around the camp.
Better be wary of that.
They hated that guy so much that everybody there knows the 10th lament like within 25 seconds. So
Red Fist puts a hearty slap on Heath Stag's back. ancestors bless you, and smiles at him.
I would take caution to such. To push one into a corner can make one more dangerous.
Yeah, Elatron nods and says the pale one's right.
Well, as always, Kraken.
We're not talking about Dull Knife, are we?
I am.
I don't think we have to worry about Dull Knife.
Yeah, Red Fist doesn't respond, but he kind of gives Deathcrow a humoring look, clearly indicating that he feels that if Dull Knife were backed into a corner, all that meant is he has nowhere to go.
Yeah. Dull Knife have nowhere to go.
All right, we got some flexing going on. All right.
Well, if he has nowhere to go within the tribe, he might go outside the tribe.
Exactly.
One who speaks lies already has fanged heart.
Mm.
And would share with such.
Mm.
We should keep
All right.
a closer eye on him if that's your feeling.
There is a crier kind of runs by it. There's a older guy who comes by and he says, "There is a meeting of the wise, the ceremonial fire in 25 minutes." No, he doesn't say that. At midday. And then he moves on to other areas. He leaves kind of hurriedly because it's a little bit stinkier over there. And it is approaching midday.
Are we going to go over and do that then?
Well, the wise are the wise people.
Oh,
No, but I mean,
before
Not the warriors. It's not like it's for the people who are medicine men and women and such.
What I was referring to is like, is there an audience that is allowed to approach and
Yeah,
and
you have to
hear?
go and check.
before we end up leaving the fire, our tents of lament, I do want to relay that one story to them real quick about the Rain told me. Tell them of this place. Tell them what she told me, and just bear my thoughts on that before we leave.
Okay.
What's the significance of this place?
For me, it is a ceremonial grounds, one with which I would like to see just for my own eyes. But they say, and I hear rumors, that the Ayu's forces desecrate this land.
Perhaps if we consecrate it again, then we may have more bounty to sustain ourselves.
We consecrated with their blood. The ancestors must be honored. This cannot stand.
I agree.
Nice.
Let us see if I'll return shortly.
Okay, so are you gonna go? Are you all gonna go, or is it just is Heafstag and Ilawe and Jothi going, or is everybody going to go?
Yeah, well, we will join your path.
You have met to meet our tribe leader, so we might as well make the introductions.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'd like to go over and see if they at least would will hold an audience with it as well.
Okay. You make your way over. There's a significant group there, and it immediately strikes you as amazingly odd to have this many medicine men and women around. It's like normally there might be one or two, like one or two significant ones that are significant to the chief and deal with the chiefs, maybe a couple healers, and that's about it. There's a lot more here than you've seen typically in a tribe. Some of that is politics, because if you're the head wise man, you don't like competition, so you don't want to have a bunch of these other upstarts trying to affect your influence. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. And there's a number of seatings, and there's places coming in, and there's a tribal guy he has a lot of stuff on him that is symbolic, but you don't get that feeling of like power, inside him.
Tim,
Yeah.
if I have the time, I'd like to coerce one of the children or a couple of the children over and ask them at a distance, not to get in the underfoot of him, but at a distance, keep an eye on Winterwolf
Oh, Dull Knife. We got to call him Dull Knife.
or Dull Knife.
Dull Knife.
Keep an eye on Dull Knife,
We will.
and if they have anything, I draw a silver coin. The one who brings back the best message to me will get this silver coin.
They're amazed. It's so shiny.
Okay. And be careful.
They plan on. They want to keep an eye on him. Anything to get him in trouble, they're all into it.
Okay.
Okay. The man standing there, Alawe, you know him, and he's White Horse. He's a healer, so he's really good at herbs and non-magical sort of remedies and things for people. And he greets you as you come in. He greets Jothi, and he looks at. Are you over there, Red Fist?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, you may stand over here."
He nods, doesn't say a word, and just walks over to the
He
point.
also is going to gesture the same way to Kraka. And he's
Thank
going to
you.
welcome Heapstag in, and he looks at Elatron, and he's, are you wearing any sort of religious symbology on you at all?
Nothing
Good choice.
from any of the like tribal gods here, just little inscriptions of, well, a flowing stream, boulders, and then a
Okay.
campfire.
All right, so he'll allow you to come in, and you can sit down or stand around the fire. And
I'll go look at what everyone else is doing and model after that.
All right. Shortly after the most of them have arrived, and you see an older guy he's decked out with ceremonial robes with lots of feathers on it, and he raises his hand to kind of get people to stop talking, pay attention, and he says, "I am Wise Owl. I am the head wise man for the Pelu, for those of you who are new to us.
I bow.
We are fighting for our lives against the Fanged Ones and the Evil One. We have a new path of war. Each of us, or most of us, walk different paths in our wisdom. Despite that, we must walk together in the same direction. Whether we are on the same path or not, we must walk together in the same direction. We need to lend our wisdom to the tribe. For as it is said, danger foreseen is half avoided. For our people and our future, we must work together. We cannot allow our paths to cross and diminish our strength. Do I need to break that down for anybody else? Do I need to he's saying, yeah, there's a whole bunch of religions and a whole bunch of views and a whole bunch of ways to do stuff. Better get on the same page.
Yeah, we followed.
But he said really nice. And that's the gist of it. So there's a couple questions about from the audience. Some of the other prominent people ask questions about what is going to happen now that the warriors are returning, and there's concern of winter. And he says, the chiefs are meeting and they will have a plan. Until then, we should prepare to move. We should be prepared to move swiftly. Everyone. And the decision should come today.
I whisper
And-
over to Alawi. I say, "Do you want to let them know about the shrine and see if there's if
Well,
the
the
others-
shrine, the shrine is, it's well known that that's what happens there at the shrine. Any holy area I use, they wreck it. That's well known. It's just that normally when they go there, they get you're not gonna just walk up to it. You're gonna get in a big fight with a number of humanoids. So that's the problem. You might just want to file that away for maybe another time. Okay, so he doesn't have much else to say other than he wants to make sure that all the various people with various deities and spirits, and that the spirit of cooperation must be the primary spirit of in this tribe. And freely giving wisdom to those who need it and aid to those who need it is the priority. He handles a few internal things. There's a couple other the wise people have. He kind of opens it up for any, and in newcomers, are there any who have a question? Going once.
So, no question, but again, being very observant, what is the general demeanor of the tribe? Is there a sense of desperation, of fear, of resolve, of
This group is there's concerns. They voiced it early, but you can tell that there's a great amount of respect and trust for most of the wise people here for Wise Owl. There's a lot of that for the especially for the Pelu. Some of the new people, they don't really know him as well, but the gist is everyone here is a lot calmer than the regular populace, if you follow me.
Okay.
And they know they're going to find out something later today, and so they kind of have their job to get ready to move. That's basically it. But he's offering a question for you guys. If you have any other questions.
And where do
Not you, not.
No, we were put in the corner.
Yeah, you were put out where
We're in the warrior corner.
Okay.
I ask if are we moving to where there's more game and more food that we can sustain ourselves?
I do not know exactly where we were moving to, but I expect that will be true. I do not know if we are all moving in the same place, same direction. I do know that the chiefs are having a meeting and they will discuss it and they will come up with a plan in agreement. We will walk this new path together. Then the theme music starts and the meeting's over. All right. You are allowed to go. A lot of people are eyeing up Heathstag's longbow.
Yeah. Oh, kitty.
And Wise Owl, he kind of sees you, and because you're tall, you're very tall too. He says, "Hang is always welcome."
Yeah, Elotron is going to quickly get out of that tent before people start flowing out because he is getting freaked out by having this many people in close proximity. He is not about that.
Okay. You go back to the tents of Lament and start getting packed up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we want to see Terrain, how mobile is she?
He is not very mobile. The good news for you guys is that you don't have a whole lot to pack up.
Yeah, I was gonna say pack what?
Thank goodness
Yeah.
for small favors. A number of the kids, and there's teenagers that are also in the area. They're kind of, some of the teenagers have kind of like herded the kids together to start looking at taking down the tents and using the poles. They're very teepee like, a lot of them are like teepees, so they're going to use the poles to make a travelway if they can get a horse to pull it. That's the only way to move the tendage. I mean, the tendage is made of hides, so they're a couple 100 pounds.
They're heavy.
There's no way to carry them.
Kraken,
They don't-
do you think we can rig something, some sort of litter for rain using the tents and the poles, so we can transport her with the tent?
She says, "I can ride."
Okay, then we could probably put her on one of the horses that would be pulling some of the tentage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
There's go ahead.
Yeah, Red Fist will walk over to Alawi and say, "This woman, Rain, she is what to you?"
She is just an elder of our tribe. I am a conduit for all of our stories and for all of our tales. And I listen to her. It eases her pain and it fills me with knowledge.
Hmm.
Electron will walk over to Jothi, and say, "Grateful for the tea you provided earlier. Is there any way I can provide assistance? Do you know packing your stuff or?"
Keep an eye out for mushrooms. I use them for sustenance and for my magic. I'd appreciate that.
Thank you. I will repay your kindness.
You guys aren't going to get too involved in packing up tendage because
No.
there's a lot of other people that will do that. You know that the meeting of the chiefs is happening, and there's a lot of warriors gathering kind of on the outskirts of that, in a crowd around it. The chiefs are in the tent. There's a large meeting tent, and they're all inside there. And there's a number of prominent yet not chiefs outside the tent, talking with their buddies, sporting a lot of eagle feathers, looking at all you who don't have any eagle feathers.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk up our recent achievements and see how far to the head of the crowd we can work ourselves.
Well, you don't get anywhere near there. They're like,
Yeah.
they look at you with like deference because they know that you're a wise man, but they're like,
Kraken,
it's your turn. It's your turn at this to sit in
Kraken,
the.
you have to get up there.
And enter the comedic portion of the
Question for the DM.
Yes.
Is it common for the chiefs to get together in this fashion right before we're about to move?
The chiefs get together to discuss and share information and make a decision because they won't go without consensus. They all have to agree.
Understood. Okay. Just making sure that there isn't like, yes, we're all rushing about to get our tents together and to pack up our camp, but making sure there isn't any more like urgency, like that they aren't really telling us about, if that makes sense.
Hurry up and wait. That's what's
Understood.
going on right now. Hurry up.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, so Red Fist doesn't even look at the tents. I mean, he makes no even implication that he would be involved in packing up tents. That is work for others. But he does kind of keenly watch the chieftain's tent, meanders around as best he can to see what's going on, tries to catch anything within earshot, being somewhat inconspicuous, but not really. He's pretty hawking on what's going on over there.
Okay. They're in there talking for a while. I'm going to say they've been talking all morning, and people have been coming in because we had a lot of these groups that were far away. They've all come back, and they're all sharing information and talking about things. And some individuals that are clearly like runners or messengers are coming to and fro to. And after, I'd say it's probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the day for modern people. So you kind of see where that fits in the day. They kind of break. They have some refreshments. And then the chief steps out amidst everybody, and they kind of make room for them as the chiefs come out. So the chiefs kind of are standing in kind of a horseshoe around the war chief and the big chief. So there's a tribal chief who's the head. They also have a war chief who is usually younger and more physically capable, and that he focuses on how to commit violence on the people that need it outside the tribe. And there's also someone who's clearly not from your tribe. Ilawe, you've seen him before. He's been around. He's with one of the newcomers. And the chief introduces you, he says, "We have met and we have determined what we're going to do. We are going to listen to our war sage." And he's gesturing to the war sage. That's what he's calling this very tall, thin guy. He's got very, very fair, light colored hair and very fair skin, blue eyes. He's wearing leather armor. He looks like he's made to ride and fight. And he looks very lean and he looks like a warrior the way he stands. He's definitely very capable. Looks very smart though. He's not like a dullard the way he looks. And he calls him Pale Rider. That's the tribe's name for him because he rides and he's pale rider. And his other name, is Hijilak. That's the name that he's given. And he says, we have listened to the victories and the honor won by our warriors and what they have done against the Fanged Ones. And we have honored the dead. We will be moving. First light in the morning. Be ready. Warriors, look to your chiefs, and they will tell you what to do. That's it. That's all he says, and he moves on. And so everyone goes. All the other warriors from the tribe are they all break apart and follow and go off to their chiefs, and their chiefs are taking their guys off to a certain area. And there's another chief who's walking kind of towards you guys. You can see you guys, and it's Tall Bull. He's the chief that's been basically communicating with all the other warriors in the tents of lament. And he says, let's go talk. And so the other warriors, the other ne'er-do-wells who are come away from garden horses to come and hear what he has to say. He says, while the other warriors are maintaining the fight and pressure on the Fanged Ones, and also delaying the enemy so that our camp can move safely. While this happens, the young and the able will be gathering supplies for the entire tribe. The entire tribe must work together. One finger cannot lift a pebble. Only with more than one working together can we accomplish this. Without the supplies, we will lose half to 2/3 of our people this winter. And he looks at Kraka, he looks at Red Fist, and he looks at all of you specifically. He goes, you will go and you will get our supplies. They are waiting, and you will meet those that bring them to us. This is the plan of the war sage. There are others that are bringing food, weapons, things of import to us, and you will go get them and bring them back. If there are any who are fearful, say so now. You notice Dull Knife kind of ducks his head and slinks away a little bit.
I whisper under my breath, coward.
So he also, the four other ones that you had like an argument with, he says, you will go with Takala. Is it Takala? Takala? Casey's character. You will go with him. And so he says, you will be securing as we move. So he basically is getting a job to do a security mission. You guys are doing the resupply mission. I will be over this evening. Make yourselves ready. I will bring a few people who will give you information so that you can save the tribe.
No pressure.
We are honored.
So all the warriors want the glory job, so you're stuck doing the resupply. But if you fail,
Is Three Fingers part of that initial group when everybody was gathered?
oh yeah.
Is Three Fingers there? Okay.
He's off with the beautiful people. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's off doing that stuff. You guys want to do anything specific? You don't really have a whole lot to get ready other than just to make sure your weapons are sharp and, check your arrows. Patrick, did I actually have guys give you extra arrows last time?
Yeah.
When you said 12, I was like, 12? And then I was like, I think I was over generous, but it's fine.
Yeah, Electron will definitely take a moment to try and find some measure of privacy, either if that's walking outside the camp and taking some time to himself and walking back just to spend some time with the newt.
All right.
It's okay, Tim. I miss a lot.
I don't recall you missing that much. Okay. I will say this, the Google Drive I have set up for you, you'll notice there's another folder in there. And in that folder is a map.
I feel
I don't know
like as ceremonial as I am, I'm gonna do like some chanting real quick around the fire that we had outside the Tents of Lament, burn some sage, say some prayers for safe travels.
Probably couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
You better get right.
Check my mushroom pouch. See that I'm stocked.
We can go on 2 trips.
All right. As you guys have been over doing this with the warriors, you can hear there's lots and lots of hooves moving off. It's like on the other outskirts of the camp, but you hear there's a lot of hooved animals being moved or whatever. This is now I'm going to cut to when he joins you at the Tents of Lament, unless there's something specific you want to do. All right. He shows up there and he has with him a guide. This guy is from the Pelu. He's a hunter, and he is, Alawe knows, he is a very successful hunter. He doesn't really flaunt it, but and fisherman. He knows where all the guy who Tall Bull is bringing over. His name, he goes by the name Sleet Man. And he says, "This is Sleet Man. He will be your guide."
And you said I do know of him.
Yes, you
What is
know
my,
him. He's a Pelu guy. He knows all the great places to go, and he has a good sense of where the animals roam to, so he doesn't have to waste a bunch of time looking for them. He just goes to an area. He kind of knows where the fish are and where they favor to go, what time of day, what kind of stream. So he's very efficient in getting a lot of. He's very good. He knows the area. He knows the region very, very well.
and I find him to, or I know of him to be a trustworthy person.
from your tribe.
But he hasn't he's not like a dull knife, right?
No, Dull Knife's not from your tribe.
No, I'm saying he's not a dick.
No,
Okay.
he's not.
Okay, cool. Then all right. Then I greet, you said Sleet Man.
Sleep Man.
I greet
cool.
him over to the fire after my chanting. In fact, I actually brush some sage and some, over
At
him,
him?
say some prayers and chants before I finish.
All right. He tends to squint and hello.
Thank you for guiding us. I'm hoping to learn some things for you on this trip.
Can you guys actually see the map?
Yes.
I am struggling because I've been looking in the folder one moment.
Have
What-
no
I-
access.
Okay, don't worry about it. Because I'll show it to you here.
Desperate Land 2 folder.
Desperate Land 2 folder in there. It's going to be, it's just basically a really detailed map of the waterways. Somebody's really knows the waterways in this area. Okay, so Paul Bull comes over. He also has four other men with him. Two of them are old tribal guys. They're quite old. Like, they probably need to ride a horse and can't really walk all day and things like that. There's also two people dressed very differently. So they're probably some of Hijilak's guys, one of the advisors to the tribe, two of them. And Tallbull says, and he ignores the old men. They're just coming over to look at you guys. He says, he points to the older of the two that are wearing foreign clothes. He goes, "This is Mule Skinner 5. And this is," and the guy he's gesturing to has really thick hair that's been pulled back into like a ponytail. His beard and mustache have been growing out of control. Like, you can barely see his mouth because he has such a long mustache. Oh yeah, and Monkey Boy is the other guy. And Monkey Boy has a 4 foot long stick. It's like a staff that's only like 4 feet long. The Mule Skinner 5 is kind of limping. He obviously has an injury on his leg, so he's not fully mobile. And Mule Skinner 5 pulls out a piece of, you think it's leather. You're not sure exactly what it is. And it has a lot of blue lines and markings on it. So if Jay's still there, I think we're not going to try to do the other optical adjustment thing, right? We're not doing that?
I
don't
can
wanna
roll
crash
the
anything.
I can roll the dice. I'm rolling the
Roll
I'm rolling the dice. What the hell?
I got faith in you, Jay.
What else could go? What else at this point could go wrong? Hold on.
Famous last words.
Yeah. Custer had a plan too. Here we go. Are you ready?
Hold on to your butts.
Hey.
Can you see it?
There we go.
I have to enlarge that screen. I'm like, it's too bright.
It's too bright.
What?
I'm looking at my screen. I can't see the lines on it hardly.
He's saying you're losing some detail.
Yeah. That's all right. Let's go back. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
So have they told us where we're to rendezvous once we get the supply?
Yes. You are going to take a group of animal handlers and a large train of animals, and you're going to meet at the intersection, at the fork of Big Antler River and Little Antler Creek. Where those two meet, there's a small island.
So
when you
we
get near
will-
there, someone will go up to the island, and on the island will be a pile of stones, a small pile of stones. There'll be a branch that is laying across it, facing, and it'll be leaning on the ground towards sunset. That means the people you're supposed to meet are nearby. You will take that stick and you will place it on the ground facing where the sun rises, and then observe, and that will be their signal that you're the right people. Then they
Take
will
the same
guide
branch or a different branch? Sorry.
same branch.
Okay.
Then they will guide you to their camp, and you will begin getting your supplies.
Red Fist, who's been quite quiet, he sniffs. It is evident on his visage that he is disdainful of being part of a supply crew, but he keeps his mouth shut and just kind of moves along.
Well, if they don't get it, they're all going to, 2/3 are going to probably die this winter.
Agreed. But the women could go and get it. He doesn't.
Oh,
say
don't
it,
worry.
just thinking it.
Oh, don't worry. Some of them are.
I look at the footwear for Red Fist. What kind of footwear is he wearing?
Yeah, he's got really worn deerskin boots. Looks like they're like rough enough hewn. You would gather he probably made them himself.
If you can't see your map, that's fine. What I will do is I will use my high-tech camera. Don't
Well, you
panic.
talk about brightness.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
panic yet. Don't panic.
He'll get it. He'll get it. He's done.
Oh,
Scene change.
no.
Scene change.
No, don't do that. I need it back the other way.
Painful. I
Tim's
thought
about to fire the production crew.
Yeah, I can adjust.
Oh.
Okay. Let me orient you to the map. Most of you are fascinated, like, what is this? Is that clear enough?
Could be closer.
I can't see the writing.
That looks like a blue line with some ants walking across it.
Man, am I glad I can't
Don't worry.
read.
Don't worry. I will. Can you read that on your own?
Tim, the other.
Warren River.
Oh my God.
Don't worry. I'll point them all out. Don't worry.
If you pin for all the players, if you pin his video in Zoom, it'll make that nice and big, and you can see it. So yeah, I see Lodge, something Creek. I can't read your writing in Horn River.
Don't you worry. Don't worry. I'll show you.
I can't read his rating either.
Don't worry. I will explain it all. Don't worry.
Lodge Grass
Friend fear.
Creek.
Oh, here we go. This is what I need to do here. I'm trying to do the same thing for myself here.
Large Gross Creek.
Yeah, I can see it.
Grass.
I like large gross.
I think it's Lodge Grass Creek. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Large Gross Creek. That's
Yeah.
it.
I for some reason I'm having issues with my own thing. I'm like, operator problem here. Oh, there we go.
Ah.
Ah. There we go.
Red Fist just takes to tossing his hand axe up in the air, spinning it, and
So,
catching it.
This
Really distracted.
is your camp.
Oh, right on.
This is Lodge Grass Creek. This is this long river
Oh,
here.
you'd have to pull down the paper so we can see.
I know this right here. And you'll see it's a very large river. It's Greasy Grass River. This one here.
Is that my arrow you're using?
It's my arrow.
Oh, okay.
This right here is the north-seeking arrow, and each of those little tick marks are miles. The areas here indicate prominent high terrain, high terrain. Now you can guess by the drainage where there's other high terrain because water runs downhill, right? Dotted lines, and this is what Mule Skinner and Monkey Boy's telling you. These dotted lines mean those are streams that are dry sometimes, but when there's wet weather, they fill. They're called intermittent streams.
And what has the weather been like the last few days, Tim?
Rains rains 1/3 of the time. So you've got to go from here to there.
Wow.
So that's Little Antler Creek, and this is Big Antler River. And that feeds into the Greasy Grass River here. Greasy Grass starts right here.
Is that about a day and a half travel?
It is about 60 miles straight line. So
How-
no.
How wide is the greasy grass?
You individually could swim it. Red Fist could swim. Most of you could swim it, but you're going to have a large number of people with you, including basically all the kids 8 to 12 years of age at the Tents of Lament are going with you.
See,
About 31 of them. You also have 13 to 15-year-olds. There's about 12 of them.
How's Redfist feel about babysitting duty?
I was just about ready to say this.
yeah, he's getting
Also-
more and more disgusted. The smirk is turned to a sneer, but he does keep his mouth shut.
We will also be taking 20 mules, 30 pack horses, 10 donkeys. Each will have harness and cordage, for each of them. So they'll have their own little harness and ropes as pack animals for bringing the supplies back. And the good news is you have about 3 days of food for everybody.
So 3 days to get there.
You'll never make it in 3 days.
No, we're gonna have
Resupply.
storage.
You'll have to. You're not given a specific timeline, but you know that you have 5 weeks until winter is here bona fide. It'll be starting to freeze. Everything will be freezing. So you have time. You will have to forage and hunt on the way. There is not a lot of expected enemy activity in the guise of large IU's forces, but there may be scouts, there may be raiders, as always. There could even be other rival tribes. There's also natural threats that are along the way.
Are we being given horses for this, or
Yeah, you have
Like-
20 mules, 30 pack horses, 10 donkeys.
no? I mean, instead of like for packs, as pack animals. I mean for riding.
Oh, you mean like war horses?
Yeah. Well,
No.
not war horse, but a riding horse.
Nope.
Have we been given instructions by Sleet or anyone else in terms of where we should be positioned in this menagerie that they're calling a caravan?
Well, that's up to you. You guys are in charge of that. So
Yeah. So,
Mule Skinner is going with you. He's there with the lamed leg, so he is going to be riding on one of the pack animals. And the other 2 old men are too.
I'll look at the group of my new companions and say, perhaps we should ride to the front. We can watch the horizon, look for danger, and be away from the children.
For sure. Who is
We should
in
have a
charge
card
of
too.
this mission?
You are.
Put the kids in charge. Oh, sorry.
This child survived 17 days without any training. Why'd you put her in charge?
We should have
So-
some people at the back in case we get harried on our way.
I thought you said Buddy, who was introducing us to these to like Mule Skinner and
Yeah, Mule
Monkey
Skinner
Butt.
5's going. Yeah, he's going. He's providing you expertise and guidance, but he has a lamed leg. He's not really, he can't really move that fast. So he's going to basically, he says, I will help you organize the young people to care for the animals, pull the animals along, keep them all together. They can do that. They can do that. They probably already know how to do most of it. That shouldn't be a problem. The only other real issue is how do we protect and watch out for everybody. Now, if no one said you can have a horse. You can bring that up with the chief if you want.
Do we want to have horses?
Yeah, at least some of us should probably, if we can have get them allocated.
Yeah, Redfist will eschew a horse, knowing this land, trusting to his legs and to his feet for long distance and travel. Are there other warriors in this group with us? Beyond the 8 to 12-year-olds that we have with us, Tim.
Death Crow is a warrior.
All right, so
And
let's
the
figure
two
this out.
older guys are warriors.
All right, let's figure. So I think we could put maybe Death Crow and the older warriors to the point, toward the back, in case we should have anyone come up from, behind us. And then if everyone is willing to, I think we should move to the front, maybe fan out a little bit so that we have some coverage and visibility, and maybe even scout and range ahead occasionally.
I'm good for scouting.
In range, I also can. My range is very far with my bow.
Okay. So unless anyone objects, that's exactly what we'll try to create. Red Fist will come up with Kraka and Hashtag, ask them, if you will, move forward, scout the lands ahead. Anything you see, come back and report. And then I have Elatron, Elawi, Jothi, and I will all sort of be fanned out toward the front, and then we'll take the other warriors that are with us and put them toward the back.
Actually, if the children are near the back, I would be near the back as well. Mostly because I'm going to be telling them tales the entire time, just stories and distracting them.
Well,
so
they're
don't
going
get
to
in the
be
way.
they're going to be scattered throughout because they have to pull it's a mule train, so they got to pull the animals in the line that they're going. So they're
Okay.
going to be
And
scattered
I'd
along
be
the whole
riding up
length.
and down.
We have 60 pack animals. 43.
Alawi's pretty good with a bow.
Yeah, 43 young people. Plus, you have 2 older guys who are knowledgeable, but they're just not spry, but they're still warriors. Mule Skinner 5 and Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy is he's buff. He's definitely buff. He's a big, strong fella, but he's like the right-hand man to Mule Skinner 5.
If they can maintain the pack, the animal train, the supply train, then we'll worry about the protection.
Right. And Sleet Man, he says, this is a long journey and the rivers are full. He doesn't really know how to read a map, but he's like, the rivers are full. Crossing them will be hard.
We'll look for fording points. The further we get up into the mountains or into the area there where more streams go, the shallower it'll become.
Yes.
Which side is more towards the forces of Ayus?
They're south. Let me think.
So
Hold on.
We're moving away from them.
You're moving away from the local threat. The local threat is to the east and a little south. That's where most of your fight. That's where your fighting and stuff has been drawing them to. So it's a little ways.
Stick along the west bank.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So remember, are you going to head out in the morning because the animals haven't been all brought over yet? So you can kind of arrange the kids into small groups.
We'll have
a couple of the teenagers. I think 2 of the teenagers do have riding horses.
Yeah, I was thinking of having a responsible teenager in
That's an oxymoron.
well, having an older one of the older kids,
Well, 13 to
basically
15.
in charge of the other kids.
They've done their right of manhood. So they look at you like I'm an equal.
Well, the teenagers with horses, we could have them at the back, and they could come up and warn us if there's anything happening at the back. so we can send back support.
We don't want to walk into something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Okay. You don't want to walk into something? All right.
no, I mean, like, that's why we're going to concentrate our movement forward with scouts forward and our protection as a bulk forward of the train.
Okay.
To where if the train becomes threatened, then we will turn back and
So I say to Malawi, since you're going to be at the back, you can just send one of the teenagers up with horse if there are any problems back here.
I also like yip super loud, like just kind of like a chanting, like, and if you hear that, that's also meaning danger. You can
Okay.
I'll just scream.
The kids that do not have some get given to them a spear. So every one of those has a spear. Some have knives. Occasionally there's an axe. There is some tented. You can put a tent on some of the pack animals because and some of the food is also on pack animals, unless you want to divvy it all out now.
Mm-mm.
No, we want to.
No.
You don't trust
We ain't
everyone
that
to
dumb.
to maintain proper rations discipline?
No.
Huh. Interesting.
Malawi.
Those
How many
kids will be
arrows
like,
you
oh,
got?
food, thank you, and they just eat it all and turn around a bit. Any more?
So you have 3 days of rations for everybody, including what you already had with you to donate into the hole. You can choose to go on half rations for 6 days before deleterious effects will begin.
Half rations.
Yeah,
Start
well,
off with
and while
we'll
you're
start off with a decent meal is what I'm going to suggest, and then while we're traveling, we'll do full half rations, and that way we run across anything that's going to like delay us, then we have that buffer.
And Kraka, you
Okay.
can scout for food as well as enemies.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
also, Tim, if there's any game that we come across, we'll try and take it down and ferry it back to the main group to eat.
okay. All right.
Everybody good on that?
This is wise.
Yes.
All right. What's Mike's character's name?
Heave Stag.
He's Stag. You say you're good at scouting?
Yes.
Um,
Well, yes, I am good at scouting. Yes.
you want to take the left side, and I'll
Sure.
take the right side,
Yes.
and we'll go forward. And if we see anything, we'll do a low shot into the ground or something towards each other
Okay.
to
You're
get our
gonna use your
attention.
arrows?
Those
Yeah.
precious arrows.
Yeah. Well, we're far enough away from each other. We may have to utilize something along those lines.
I mean, we can whistle, right?
You can do a call maybe
Yeah, I
or
think
something.
we can do a
Bird
call.
calls.
No, I think shooting those arrows is a great idea.
Yeah.
Instead of a whistle, you hear the whistle of an arrow as it just zips
Mhm.
past your
Whoa, we're
head.
being attacked, and then blue on blue incident, blue on blue.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not sure shooting our arrows is such a good idea because I only have 8.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, we should see if we can procure
Tim the
some additional
Merciless.
ammunition.
All right, let's get rolling.
Right. So as I don't, you can see this, right? You're down here now. You want to give me a compass heading, approximate where you're going? Are you planning on going west?
Yes.
Go around the river here?
Yeah.
You're gonna stay off the high ground? Or you're
Yeah.
gonna try to go over the.
I think depending, I would suggest that we're going to head toward the high ground. We may send someone to range up atop the high ground to get a nice view as we go, but we're not going to take the whole caravan up on top of the high ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. I didn't put woods on this because woods are sporadic. There's woods here and there. There's grasslands, sporadically across the whole entire area. So that's generally kind of how it is. So you have kind of open areas, and then you have woods of various densities. But there's never a stand of woods that's so large that it should be shown on the giant map.
Gotcha.
Because this is they don't have survey equipment, so they can't do topographic maps. So the brown areas are just areas like this is where the higher area is in comparison to surrounding ground. Now, to count something as a hill in the Greyhawk maps, it has to be an elevation change of over 2,000 feet. So on the Greyhawk maps, this does not count as a hilly terrain. So, all the terrain features are going to be, you're not moving over 2,000 foot vertical distance. You know what I mean? When you're traveling this. So it would be rolling hills. If you follow me, not really very sharp hills. So there will be areas that are sharp. Like if you're walking by a stream area here or along here, right where that stream is, you can expect that it's going to be a sharper, much harder to climb up straight up this. But if you follow the stream up, it might not, be as hard. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help you interpret the map. Because they don't have topographic maps. They can't show you the topography.
So this is basically grassland and along
Grass and woods. Grass and woods, and it's rolling hills. So you're not going to have a super long range distance. If you want to have a long view, you're going to have to hit something up here, find a overlook. But you're not going to get a giant long range look very often.
Okay.
But clearly we wouldn't have all this information now, Tim, right? So all we have a crude map. And so
I'm just telling you, Mule Skinner knows how to read a map. Because this was made by his crews. They're very good at doing waterways. They waterways tell you almost everything you need to know about land. Is what he says.
Does Mule Skinner approve of our route of travel?
Yes, this group here is not capable of handling a difficult ford.
Yeah.
The animals are
no way.
The horses are suspect. The donkeys and mules are good. The horses are suspect, and the young people are incapable of passing a rough ford.
Okay. No, but the grassland and the wooded terrain, what I was referring to is where it's rolling hills. Does this grass and the woods adapt with the rolling hills to where you get like a high area of trees?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's not the hills aren't all barren. There's still trees. There's still small, copse of trees here and there.
Okay.
Are there any known other major encampments of other tribal peoples in the area besides the group that we're going to meet?
Not that you know of. This is a traditional area that you guys, the Palu tribe has frequented before, which is why the guide knows where things are and why the Mule Skinner knows the names of the certain rivers.
Do any of the shamas have an idea of what the weather's going to be like for the next couple of days?
Yes. 33% chance of rain.
Oh, Jesus. I knew you were going to say something like that. All right. So
the temperature ranges from the 40s to 60s.
It's not bad.
Unless you're soaking wet, 40s is terrible.
It's still not that bad when you're when you can get like you get warm later on. It's okay.
40s and wet is bad only if there's wind. 40s and wet is okay if there's no wind. But I think so. Yeah, Redfist says we have a route. Let us not delay further.
Nope. Let's get going. Let's go.
Excellent. Excellent. So like I
Especially now.
said, each one of these is a mile, right? And so
Correct.
you're
Yeah.
walking along as fast as your horse, as your pack animals, and the kids can walk. Are you
We
going to
move-
go up here?
Well, I
These
think
streams are full. These are full. The creeks here are full.
all right.
You
So
can probably cross them.
Creeks are passable. It's rivers that we're worried about.
Right.
Cor-
Well, the creeks can be a problem sometimes.
it just depends on how full they are. So I think, again, what we would do is we would set out in that direction, and whether or not we try to ford a creek, whether we try to skip between that creek and the high ground, or whether we go up on the high ground, will depend on what we see when we get there.
Your guide
Yeah.
recommends passing through here.
Well, then that's what we'll do.
Okay.
He's concerned about the stream here.
Yeah. We can only move as fast as the slowest move in person.
He thinks his recommendation is to go up the high ground and come across that way.
Are there trees along that hill?
There are some trees up here. It's rolling, so it's up and down. So yes, there's areas where you're going to be exposed, but because of the rolling hills, no one has a super long line of sight, or very rarely has a super long line of sight.
Okay. We'll take, unless anybody objects, we'll go that route.
Will you?
I say to Kraka, if you need an edge on some hunting, I can give you visibility to animals if you come across good hunting.
How long does it last for?
Like 11 rounds.
11 hours?
No, rounds. So a turn plus one per round per level. So
So 11, it's like a couple.
After
Almost-
a while, it's hard to keep some of the animals get stubborn, so it's very slow going with them. Yeah, you can get to basically around about right here after a day of travel.
Okay. Is there a bit of a dip of an area there that we
You can find
camp in?
sort of a little bit of an area between two higher areas, and there's some woods in the area that you can kind of go into, bring the
Okay.
animals into.
And as we take this rest and set up campground, can we also take a small break on our end?
Yes,
Just a quick
I
break.
actually need a small break as well. How about a 2 to 4 minute break?
As we set up our campground and get all the children shoved into the tents real quick.
Yes. Ready, go. Take a break.
All right. Break screen. Let's see if I crash the stream here. Hopefully not. Some music by the Michael Carney Experience.
You got me talking in my head, thinking right out my mouth. It only take one thought to send my head through the clouds, yeah. Spend the rest of my day spiraling down. My heart's greater than the Great Dane, difficult to tame. Should've tied that shit up in chains, but you can never do it. I swear you never stop running away. Oh yeah, so try to relax. Just try to relax. Try to relax before you start losing yourself. You already have, and I don't know if you're ever coming back. You got me beating my chest, yeah, like a gorilla. Don't know if you're ever coming back. You got me beating my chest like a gorilla, yeah. Don't know if you're ever coming back, but
We have
I've
the
been
plan,
beating my
the plan screen
chest
up.
like a gorilla. I said like a gorilla, yeah, like a
Yes, sir.
gorilla. You got me laughing to myself, shaking in my grave. It only take one thought to send my head
All right.
into space, yeah. Spend the rest of my days watching the waves. it's tougher than a bull on parade. Well, I ain't even afraid. So wave your red flag, snap until you got your way. You could get cancer, I'm running away. Oh yeah. So try to relax. Just try to relax. Just try to relax.
Wow.
Before you start losing yourself.
Pretty
You
good.
already have, and I don't know if you're ever coming back. You got me beating my chest, yeah.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
Quick question to clarify. With the new items, you have to be like out for me to be able to cast spells with them.
No, he just needs to be within, a certain distance from you. You haven't found that out yet. You haven't been far away from him. He can be right on you or in your pocket or whatever.
Okay.
Now, if you want him to do some things, then he has to be kind of out.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? If you.
Yep.
Some of them are ranged, in which case he doesn't need to be anywhere, but you can have him in your hand, or he could be on your shoulder, or hidden in a pocket where he can look out.
And do I like communicate telepathically with him, or just like read his body language, or?
No, you can communicate telepathically, and you can see through his eyes.
Okay.
So you have wide angle view. Kind of like the way their eyes are.
Yep.
So I've drawn, I guess, the folks on Twitch can't see, but I have marked birthday travel.
Huzzah.
First day travel. That's all we're doing. We're just going to do it's a logistics game. It's like Monopoly. You're just going to pick up stuff and come back, and whoever does the most efficient route wins. That's all. There's not going to be any fighting or anything.
It's about survival.
Lowry's going to take the time to eat some of her rations.
Well, you've consolidated them on several pack animals, right?
Yeah, we hit them so the kids can't find them.
Right.
Yeah.
So the pack animal, Mule Skinner and Monkey Boy will keep an eye on those couple. Same with the old man. The old men are like, they understand. There's a lot of kids that are hungry. They're like, what? That's it. But I'm hungry.
It's not that I don't trust Mule Skinner or Monkey Boy, but I've been keeping an eye on them from the back of the pack.
Yeah, a lot. There's a little 8-year-old. Elawe, I'm so hungry.
I bite it off a piece of my dried meat, and I hand her the rest.
Oh, all right.
I take the time to also go forage and find some
He
roots and
eats that
stuff so
really.
I can nod.
He eats that really fast and says, "I'm hungry."
I shoo him away
What's
like a dog. That's all I have.
what's
You
Doll
actually-
Knife doing?
I just rolled. You actually do find a nice selection of edible roots and bulbs that you can actually, you find it's growing together, naturally, wildly. So you can pull up a bunch of them, and it gives people a number of, for a couple people, at least gives them some extra food. I mean, you have so many, it's difficult to.
I give the roots to the younger kids that still look, pretty thin because they still have teeth.
Yeah.
And I give the bulbs to the older. In fact, I give them to Mule Skinner and what was the other Sleepman? No, Monkey
Yeah,
Boy.
Mule Skinner and Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy seems fine.
Is Rain riding with the older gentleman?
No, Rain's not coming.
Oh, she's not coming on this.
Oh, no.
Oh, good
I don't
God,
think
no.
she'd make that trip.
Yeah, it would be hard. The two old men, one guy is named Strange Otter, and the other one is named Double Spear. The guy named Double Spear, actually, his spear, he basically it's a spear that has another branch kind of lashed to it very tightly, and it has 2 spearheads on it.
One on each end?
No,
It's like two 2/3 trident.
Two
yeah, but
prongs.
they're not separated that much. They're like right next to each other.
Okay. Okay, so just a double tip.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Double, like
All
just
right.
like a double spear.
Yeah. Double rainbow. Sorry.
Double. Yeah. Double mint. Double your
Yeah.
pleasure.
Is
And
Dull Knife traveling with us?
Who?
Dull Knife?
Dull Knife is not. Dull Knife, remember he slunk away during the briefing. He's going to help
He's being spied on.
packing up tents and moving.
Yeah. Elitron's gonna walk over to Heathstag, because he was another one of the outsiders that he walked in with.
Yeah.
He's gonna say, hey, since you're gonna be out front kind of scouting and I'll be back towards the beginning of the party, I have this little friend that I can communicate with. If I could potentially leave him with you, I could get some advance notice on if you guys run into some trouble. It might seem a little unnatural, but
This
could help out the group. Right?
This is fine.
Okay. So I pull out from one of the larger belt pouches
Yeah.
a red and purple newt that has its color kind of shifting around its body and always moving.
So Heapstag, when you see this, you realize this is not something that's typical, normal, natural. This is something that's definitely supernatural in some way. Some sort of spiritual, magical creature.
And forgive me, am I near him? Or am I near you?
I don't know. You made it kind of private, right?
Yeah, I would have made this private.
Okay.
So I try and gauge Heathstag's reaction as I'm pulling out the spark the newt.
I look at the lizard with curiosity and then accept it. I'm not threatened by it or anything. He looks down at his hand and sees that the lizard's not or gecko or what is it, a newt?
That's a newt.
He turned me
Hey,
into a
good
newt.
shish kebab.
Isn't attacking me, so I lift it, place it on my shoulder.
Yeah. So if you were an insect, he might eat you, but if you're not an insect, then you're probably all right. I'm assuming that's what newts eat.
I don't know.
I don't know either. So, the teenagers are told what to do by the older dudes as far as just setting up the camp. Your functions is primarily security, and react to any possible threats. The old guys keep the kids in line and give them organization. The guide is just making sure you guys stay on track of where going where you want to go. And the mule skinners is making sure that the animals are, put down, bedded down right. And Monkey Boy is the one who he's helping Mule Skinner by doing all the physical stuff that those guys do. And you can bed down young, with that many young people, you can get plenty of wood fast. You're not far, you passed enough streams to keep your water skins full. Although the Sleet Man recommends passing by one of these streams to top off. Perhaps the one that's due north of us. If we can catch it at the beginning at its source, the water should be nice and fresh and clear and delicious. And then move sort of northwest. That's what he's recommending. Along the high ground that's,
You may be thirsty, Tim.
Yeah, I need a drink of water.
Raka, do you want to forage for and hunt? I want to go out for some mushrooms and then we can see if you can find some game.
Definitely.
Elitron's gonna offer to accompany you. So as to find you your mushrooms.
You're welcome. Oh, did I see the newt when You had it out, or was private?
Yeah. Eltron made a point to try and show as little people as possible.
Okay, so I didn't notice.
No. Unless
But-
he's come back because he said he was just resting on his shoulder. So
Hoopstag said he put him on his shoulder. So if he comes back, you'll see it.
yeah.
Hey, Tim, now I was a little bit late back. Sorry. We've already made it to point one, or that's the way we're going?
Point one is your camp for the night.
We're on our way back now.
You
Yeah,
accomplished the
we
mission.
picked up the supplies.
You refilled your water bottles, ate your food, and now you're headed back. So the
And what I'm asking is, are we already at the camp, or are we still on the way to the camp?
you're at the camp. We discussed setting up. The guide is just making sure you get where you go, but the old men are kind of honchoing the kids. The mule skinner is making sure the animals are properly stowed and taken care of. Monkey boy is his muscle basically to make it lift anything heavy and get anything ready for the animals. And you guys are primarily just security.
All right. Well, as this is happening, despite his initial taciturn response to being stuck with the babysitting duty, Red Fist will seek out, see if he can find any groups of the older teenagers, particularly the boys, and he'll kind of brandish his stone axe and walk over and say, would any of you like to train? I can teach you things. Help you survive out here.
Tim?
Well, they're kind of they're like, well, do you have any food?
A man catches his own food. I can teach you this also.
Great.
Oh wow! So we have Gen Z here. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Well, these are teenagers that are in the tents of lament. So they've been kicked in the jimmy many a time and had to fend for a while. So they're a little rough,
Yeah, which is exactly why he's over there. So he'll make the
Yeah.
attempt. He'll try to give them a little, maybe tell a story or two, give them a little encouragement,
You-
at least show some interest in them. But if they're not interested, he'll walk away.
Well, a couple of kids are saying, so if we are attacked, what should we do? What's the best way to fight all of us together?
Have you ever been in a fight
Yes.
with your fists, with knives, bows,
Yes.
all the above? The most important thing is to stick together. You are stronger together, have one another's backs. It depends on what you fight. If they are the fanged ones, they can be very strong. You should first seek, if you can, an elder, one like myself, one like Sheet, one like Kraka, who we call Death Crow. We can aid you, but if you are by yourselves, stay together, keep your knives handy. Try to avoid direct engagement with fanged ones unless you have us with you. But if direct engagement must happen, then you carry with honor, and you fight with everything in you, for there are no second chances.
Okay. So, you guys post guard, watch. This is a good time to, is there anyone going to exempt themselves from a turn at watch sometime during the night?
No.
I'm
Nope.
mainly talking to the spellcasters, not the fighters, because without that time to rest and then meditate and or pray, you can't change anything. So just
We should let the woman and the cook rest.
You're a cook now, Dwayne.
I noticed that.
that's
Well,
funny.
While I'm making my evening tea, I prompt Kraka to tell the story of how us looking after the horses turned into an opportunity for glory.
Oh yes.
I'll try and weave a bit of a tale then for the younger group of children.
I'm thinking it's more for Red Fist.
Yeah, he's trying to encourage me to think
Yeah.
that this could actually be a noble endeavor that we're on.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, if if you save the entire tribe, that's good, right?
Yeah. Very.
So you're starting to rest, everyone's sleeping.
Before that, though, was there, out of that couple hours that I took to go hunting, was there anything from that?
Oh, I think I missed that. So you're going hunting.
Yeah, I wanted to grab some just locally.
It's
See if
dark, so
there's
you're gonna go out and hunt at night.
More like twilight. Excuse me,
Okay.
twilight, when the animals are like just doing their supper.
Okay.
Starting to bed
Are
down.
you go by yourself?
I'm going.
No, it was when Jaffe
All
and
right.
Electron were also collecting their
Oh.
herbs and mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
All right. So you wander. You're not far from where you're setting up camp, and you can hear something kind of large moving through the trees. It sounds. You're going to guess it has 4 legs. It's pretty large, and it's moving through bushes and. But you can't really
Uh-oh.
see it.
I gotta excuse myself for a minute here.
Okay. Work beckons. So while he's over there looking towards trying to find some small animals, Jothy, you and Elatron are gathering herbs and other things, and you hear something large moving through the bushes.
How close am I to Kraken?
You can't see him.
Could I potentially do a animal lore check and see if I can sense that there's danger afoot, or if it's just regular animal
Sure.
activity?
Roll an intel check.
Okay, so I need a 56.
I'm gonna cast it.
I got a 49.
Okay. You're sitting there looking and listening, and then your eyes kind of look at a tree near you, and you see the scratches in the tree that bears make when they're kind of doing something like claw, and you're like, that sounds like it might be a bear.
Okay, so I'll kind of tap Jothy on the shoulder and be like, point to the scratch marks and be like, bear, and start slinking into the shadows.
Jothy, based on its the size of the claws, you're going to guess that it's a black bear, not a the size of it is probably a black bear, which is typical of your area.
How far from the camp are we?
500 feet.
Okay, yeah, I'm retreating with Elatron. Also keeping an eye out to see if I can see where Kraka is.
Are you running?
No, slow.
You sure?
Yes,
All right.
slow and quiet.
So as you're moving along, you can hear the sound of the bear snuffling stuff, and then you actually get a glimpse of the trees. You see the bear. It's gotten a hold of some bushes, and it's chewing on the ends of the bushes. This is the fall, so it's in the fattening up stage of trying to eat as much as it can. Do you pause, or do you just keep moving? Move out of sight.
I'm gonna try and keep an eye because I'm still worried about Kraka.
Okay. So you see the bear, and the bear chews on the ends of the twigs, and then again it continues snuffling along. It's generally making its way towards your camp, and there's a little bit of wind that kind of blows, and you can kind of start sniffing. It smells like there's a bunch of edible hooved animals nearby.
So I'm going to tell Elatron, can you make your way back to the camp and I'll keep an eye on it? And then I'm going to cast invisibility to animals.
I
Okay.
said, I'll whisper back, I certainly can, and good luck. I slink back.
All right. And you can see that they've some of the young people have dug a little fire pit so that the fire is down lower and they've gotten the fire going. A small one, very small. Just to boil some water for, putting some of that dry meat in there to kind of help soften it up a little bit. And you're going to announce to the folks that there's a bear out there?
I'm going to walk over to any of the non-children in the group. So probably if I can see him, Monkey Boy or Mule Skinner.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, was just out in the forest with Jothy, and we saw some sort of bear. It looked like it was wandering this way.
Okay.
We're
gonna need to put up a picket around the animals with our food.
Am I within earshot of this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, now you are. Yeah.
I think Heefstag, that bow, bears are good meat.
That's what he was about to say. That's what Mule Skinner was like. Monkey Boy was gonna be like, bears are good eating. I love
their
me some
skin.
bear paw.
Their
Yeah.
skin could do well too for the winter.
Can you bring it down, Heefstag?
Absolutely. Yes.
But Mule Skinner wants to set up a picket of people with spears around the animals. Just
We should have the children, younger folk
well, it
do
has to
that.
be them.
Yeah, because I don't want them taking them out.
Oh, we have.
Your picket will not be needed. When the bear is shot, it will not run for children. It will run for those which stand in front of it, which will be us.
Right, but he's getting the kids to move there anyway because one of the adults can die or whatever. That's fine, but if we lose too many animals, we'll fail. So he's going to protect the animals. I mean, the kids aren't going to do anything. He's just going to make sure that the thing doesn't blunder. I mean, if the thing blunders into a donkey, he's going to kill one of your animals.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I take it my hunting trip didn't go.
No, you had to stop and relieve yourself. And while you're doing that, Jothy and Elytron noticed a bear. And so Jothy is keeping eyes on. Elytron returned to camp to let him know. And I'll assume that you've been moving around. You see Jothy and he's looking intently at something. And then you're kind of looking at his line of sight and you're like, oh, that's what I heard. And you can hear, I'm guessing Heefstag and Red Fist and anyone else from the camp who wants to is coming along in the direction that Elytron indicated.
Okay.
Who else?
Can I try and shoot the bear?
Sure. Lawe, are you also going or are you hanging back or are you what would you like to do?
I'm going with.
Okay.
I have my bow ready.
Do I see Kraka?
Yes, you do eventually. Yeah.
So I try and signal to him. That,
Oh no, he sees the bear. He sees the bear for sure.
But I'm trying to convey that reinforcements are coming from the camp.
Right, but you don't know that yet.
Well, I sent Elytron back.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
I move up with Heestag, and I'll keep my my axe out, and I'll stand in front of him and to the side, so that once he's released his arrow, if he doesn't bring the bear down, I will be standing between he and the bear, so he can get off a second shot.
Okay.
This
And
is
the kids are in place, and you see Monkey Boy kind of comes up near you guys, and he looks at you, and just kind of goes, "Huh," and he jumps up onto the tree and just muscles himself up the tree, and he just gets in some of the lower branches and just kind of sits on there, watches.
Elytron is going to see about going to Heefstag and getting his gecko back.
All right.
And then
Newt.
Sorry. Yeah, his newt. Turned me into a newt. And then he's going to start, when they start pulling bowstrings back, he's going to start channeling Air Fist.
Okay. You see the bear snuffling along. He's moving along. He come to a clearing. And he kind of looks and he sees you guys standing there. He just kind of doesn't seem super aggressive, but you know the time of year. You know it's eating everything because it's trying to get enough fat to hibernate. So it's.
Does he look chunky?
Yeah, he looks like he was probably very well marbled. So
All right. If I could take 2 shots.
He is outside 30 feet.
Oh, I want to. Is there a tree between that he's within 30 feet of?
No. I mean, yes, if you want to go all the way around, yes, you can try to move around and try to get closer, but not
Okay.
straight line.
I'll try and get into a tree, like his general direction that he's sort of snuffling into.
Oh, he's coming towards you.
Oh, okay. I'll get into a tree.
All right. So are we already here with them as well?
Yes. Yeah. I said, you had come up and you had walked onto him. So you're all standing here looking across a more or less clear area, and the bear was sniffing at you, and now he's kind of ambling towards in the direction. He's curious, and you can still smell the delicious 4-hooved beasts behind you.
Yeah.
I'll lean over to Heavestag and I'll say, watch Death Crow. Time your arrow with his.
What's the what kind of trees are there here? Are they
If you want to get within 30 feet and have a tree, you're going to have to go around.
Okay, forget it then.
All right.
As he comes
if
in,
you wait long enough, he'll be within 30 feet.
I'll wait for him, and I'm actually going to do a called shot to the eye.
You just have to roll to hit.
Yeah.
I'm reading this though.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay.
Also, I'll take a prepared action, and whenever he fires, I will fire as well.
All right. So yeah, Heavestag has that big long bow. You're like, ooh. You get your short bow ready, and you're waiting. The thing's coming, and it looks a little bit more like it's getting ready. You know, it's being more attentive, getting a little bit more tense as it gets close. He's walking towards you, and he gets within 30 feet.
Let it roll it when I feel comfortable.
Right. So he's
Or
within
his-
30 feet, and
or
then
his
you can
30
just
16 plus 2 and
it's +4 actually.
plus 4 minus for called shot.
No, there's no cold
No?
shot.
Okay, so it's 20.
You hit.
All right.
First arrow hit. Poor bear. He was just
2D. It's
trying to eat.
now because I called shot on the eye. Is it going to do anything extra damage or anything like that? No.
There's no cold shot.
No called shot. Why didn't you say something?
I did.
He did.
Can I get another arrow off then?
Yeah, you can get 2 shots. Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't say you aim. Remember, if you took a half action to aim, you get an additional plus. You didn't do that, so you can take 2 shots.
Okay. 12 plus 4, 16.
All right, you hit him twice. So before you roll damage, let's go to Heavestag and let him roll so we can see how many arrows are hitting this thing in a
All right.
short period of time.
That's a way to start off the game. I got a nat 20.
No,
Right there,
I
baby.
knew my guy had it.
Dang. All
Show
right.
me up, man.
So go ahead and roll the second one. I am guessing you're going to fire twice, right?
Do I get to fire twice?
Yes, you do.
All right. And that's an 18.
All right, you hit twice. Let's do the critical, and then we'll roll the damage of the first arrows to see who does the most, and then we'll see.
So how do we roll the criticals? Just
Or roll percentile dice, and I will tell you what sort of badness occurs.
I got a 48 on that.
All right. It's going to be double damage.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do confirmation, so it's just an auto crit on a 20,
Automatic.
which makes his crits even deadlier.
Which makes it more fun for everyone.
That's a way to start the game off right there. That is a way to start off a battle.
All right, you have put an arrow right through its shoulder, and it's sticking out in kind of its armpit. So the head of its against its so its arm is lamed.
In my other arrow?
And so it's double damage. So you just roll 2 dice. 2 dice 6.
2 dice 6.
And also go ahead, Patrick, roll 2 dice 6 for your first arrow. And then add 4 to it.
It's add 4.
No, he gets to add 4.
My first score is 10 total.
All right. Keep Stag, what'd you roll?
Yeah, I got a 10 total too for double damage.
Ooh. Okay. You paralyze one of its arms, Heap Stag. You put an arrow deep into its chest. Kraka, roll damage on the second one.
Okay, that's Cracker, right?
Yeah, yes. Both of you hit. So it's 1d6 for you, Mike. 2d6 plus 4 for Patrick.
10 again.
Good. Go to the mug.
And I got a 5.
Okay, so you killed it in a half. Over killed it in a half. So it goes, it's really mad, runs towards you like on 3 legs, and then
I go up to the bear and examine my arrows. Are they broken, especially the one that went through? Did it break, or
the
can
one that
I?
went through the shoulder is broken. Yeah.
As
Are
he's
both-
examining, sorry, go ahead.
Are both of them bad? Both of
They're
them are.
both, yeah, they're both broken. You can try to you can recover the heads though.
Yes, I will do that.
As he's examining, I'll walk over to the beast. I'll also shoot a look over at the gentleman who wanted to put the picket around the horses and smirk. And then I'll kneel down in front of the bear and give thanks to the Great Spirit and honor the beast and its sacrifice for our life.
Great.
I'll quietly, when he does that, I'll quietly kneel with him, right just behind him so he doesn't see me.
Okay.
And then, okay, we've got meat.
You're gonna-
I
Go ahead and-
retrieve Thraka's arrowheads as well.
All right. So you can get those open. You guys can get the guts out.
Yeah.
Who do you want to give the liver to?
I give it to
This honor should go to Histag.
Hivstag, yeah.
And there's also the heart and some kidneys too. So you can give out the organs to anyone you feel like it. You know, they're like delicious.
Let
We
us
can-
ask the cook what he can do with these.
I take the liver. I take the raw liver in my hand and lift it all bloody and everything, and take a big freaking bite out of it.
Sweet.
I'll break out in a huge
Smear
smile.
the blood across half of my face.
Oh, there you go. All right. So you can there's a number of people that can, skin it and butcher it, and I guess more people are getting the fire going. Yep.
Yep,
That'd be me though. I whip out both my daggers and I just immediately start going to work and just
Try and save the skin.
Save the skin. Oh yeah.
Elitron will walk over and say,
Monkey Boy
I know
hangs
how to
down from
work
the
the
one.
hive.
Monkey Boy hangs down from the one branch. You notice his arm is a little bit longer than average for human. A little bit, just like a little odd shape. That he's like, nice shooting. He drops off the branch and heads back. And he does basically a walk around the camp, pausing and sniffing every so often, like.
Okay. Whatever we don't use of the bear, I'll dig a pit and bury it.
no waste here.
You mean the innards? You mean like the
Yeah,
intestines?
like the urine sac and
Well, Mule Skinner says, what we should do? We should leave that where it is. Leave it out. Someone will eat it, and that'll keep them from bothering our mules.
It'll attract.
yeah, but that's just it because of its vicinity to the camp. It may attract.
Yeah,
something.
but would you rather fight something alive or eat something that's just right there, ready to go? They'll smell it anyway. They already know we're here.
All right.
Every animal knows more than us.
I think this is not wise. If one animal comes and is devouring the carcass, and another animal comes and finds the first animal, it will not challenge the first animal. It will come to our camp.
All right, well, do what you want.
I say we bury it. I agree.
I do neither. I burn it in the fire in a ceremonial type of way. Yay.
Or that.
I just step away and just say,
That's
okay,
yeah.
whatever,
Have
man.
you ever smelled burning flesh?
Yeah, it's called cooking. Burning hair is a different story.
No, burning flesh does not smell like cooking. But also, what are you digging the hole with?
Kyle, I'm just kidding.
My hands, the axe that I have to break
You're
up the
gonna
earth,
you're gonna use your stone axe to dig into the ground.
So are you
back
telling
of
me
it.
they have no spades in the camp with all the supplies that were brought with us?
What spades do you have? Did you bring a spade?
No, but we're with a whole camp of people. We've got mules and packs and all kinds of stuff that we didn't bring.
You have mules with ropes ready to tie stuff onto them, and you have a couple things tied to them in like a sacks.
Very little metal.
Well, the spade here wouldn't be made of metal anyway. It would be like a
Made of stone.
flat stone bound to a pole.
Yeah.
Monkey Boy says maybe you can carve a spade.
I mean, like make one out of wood.
What kind of camp is this?
Summer camp.
Anyway,
Camp of
Mule Skinner
plantation.
goes back and they make sure that the animals are.
Those spades.
He says, "Look, the bear you see is concerning. The bear you don't see is the real worry." So he goes and go do what you're going to do. You can bury it. That's fine. You can go bury it.
No, I'm not. I'm leaving it alone.
You can are you burning something, Alawi? Are you taking flesh and throwing it in the fire?
Just the piss sack. Everything else I'm taking and I'm drying and I'm grinding. I'm keeping
So
a
the meat,
lot of
the meat you're
them.
cooking is going to have this sort of urine ammonia sort of.
No. I do that
smoke taste
after. I
on
do
it.
that last.
Oh, okay.
I do that last. Plus, there's multiple fires, Tim. My goodness, what do you think we are?
No, there's not multiple fires. That's too big a footprint.
Well, that it seems ridiculous since there's so many people. How are we all going to crowd around like one fire?
Only the people that have business there can crowd around the fire.
Well, that sucks for the children. You're just going to huddle together over there by a tree. Keep each other warm.
They can wrap up in an empty sack and stay warm as possible.
Okay.
Hey, life sucks when you live rough.
Why couldn't we make a second fire?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you guys can do you. That's what Mule Skinner says. You guys can do whatever you want.
Well, I think that was what Ilawi was suggesting by saying there are multiple fires. She
Well,
would.
then
we would have.
she can say, "I'm going to go light another fire."
Yeah.
Because remember, they dug a fire pit so that the fire is below ground level.
What they dig that with?
They use sticks. Mule Skinner used his 4-foot staff as a digging stick and dug it out.
Okay.
And they had the kids use their spears as digging sticks to loosen the ground and pull it out.
Okay, once all this here calms down,
Okay, so what are you doing? Ilawi, what are you doing? Are you going to get some
Laughing at
kids to
John.
dig another
He's
hole, or are
really
you going to just
mad.
light a fire? Tell me what you're going to do.
Yes, I would like to light a second fire for this purpose. It's going to be my own smaller fire so I can keep it contained.
Okay. little
Created
small
like a
fire.
little rock cropping around it, all Boy Scout style, you know.
how many people do we have, Tim?
You have over 40 people with you.
Okay, and how many pounds of meat did we get from the bear?
Everyone can get a good meal out of this.
So like a
but-
full day's rations or just one meal?
Now, remember, you are doing half rations. You've eaten 1/2 of that. You have 5.5 days left. You could slice this and smoke it or dry it.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at is like if it's a 40 pounds of meat that we can get from the bear or more.
Yeah.
Okay, because if it's a 200-pound bear, then I'm sure we could get about 60 pounds of meat from it.
Yes.
Okay. Then 60 pounds, even 1 pound of meat per person is going to be enough to make a stew. Like you can have jerky, you can do all kinds of stuff.
You can
little steaks.
The easiest way to transport this is to slice it thin and dry it by the fire.
Yeah.
Get all the moisture out, makes it lighter, and then
Yeah,
you can
I just create like drying racks and I put it
Yeah.
over the fires and I just start smoking, like hanging it like sticking the things in the ground, hanging right over the fire, and just letting the smoke catch the pieces of meat.
Okay.
Technically, smoking it takes a lot longer because you're using the smoke to cure it. What you're doing is drying it because you don't need it to last too long because you're
That's
going to eat it. You know, you're going to eat it pretty fast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There you
Does
go.
Jothy, do you have any salt or herbs that you can rub into the meat to make it more palatable?
Yeah, I
Monkey
do.
Boy says, I got salt sticking to my clothes.
I've got some rosemary here.
Okay. Rosemary will do.
I pull out some of the non-medicinal herbs that I've also collected.
All right.
It's like
Anybody
chopping
wish they had
onions
like
and such.
ribs or something right now?
Yeah.
So everyone can actually basically, you can eat enough little bits and pieces here and there to kind of have today count. Even though you use half rations, you effectively made yourselves one full meal. So you have 5.5 days of your original rations, but today counts as a full meal. So good job.
As this is done, I'll take some of the larger bones, the femurs, the front legs. I'll clean those as best I can, and I will find any of the teenagers that have no weapons, and I will hand them these very useful clubs.
Very good. They have a spear and usually a knife is typical, is occasional axe, but having a good solid hunk of bare bone to like whack somebody with is well good. And they can also hunt small game with that with a throwing club.
That's right.
So they like that.
I'd like to once everything's settled down, we've filled our stomach and stuff like that, things are cleaned up, I'd like to wander over to Heath Stag and say, hey, you mind if I take a look at your bow? I've not really seen one of such elegance and size.
I lift up my bow with both of my hands and present it out to him with very, very care, because it's my baby, and say to him, you may look, but you may not shoot unless I teach you how.
I appreciate that. I thank you. And I take a look at it. I just look at the way the wood grains are, and how it's, is it just an adaptable size of the short bow, but just larger, or?
It's about 5 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall. It's long and very, very, you notice if you try to draw it, it's very, very tough to draw back.
Okay.
You've seen composite bows on some of the horse barbarians that are further east. You've seen some of their stuff, but it's similar to that as far as made with wood and horn and sinew, but it's just larger, much larger version. Did you
Okay.
raise your hand, Kayla? Were you waving or?
Somebody asked who's in charge of making the bear jerky.
While they're admiring each other's equipment, I'm also going to pull all the bear teeth out. I'm going to put them in a little sack. I'm going to take all the bear teeth and put them in a little sack.
You can bring the bear skull too if you want.
Yeah.
I pull off the talons and I actually fashion little necklaces for each and every single one of us, and I put my claw.
Well, you
in
can
my little bag.
you can
stole my
harvest.
idea. That's what I was going to do with these teeth, but I'll tell you what I'll do with it later.
All right, so you can harvest the claws and the teeth, bones for weapons, bones for tools, bones for whatever you want, and do everyone with the
We
skull.
make a spade out of the bones.
Hey, you can use his hip bone and chop some of that away and make a spade blade for that. Yep.
Colatron will grab the bear.
However, you're going to run out of sleep time if you make too many projects. So you probably have to do the harvesting and then the building later.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on doing anything with the teeth tonight. I just took them.
And as you're getting ready to as you settle down, the fire's dying, the guards are out. You can hear in the distance some wolves howling. And you normally hear coyotes. You hear things howling. That happens a lot. You hear loud ones. These are individual wolf that's loud.
And they doubted the wisdom of our second fire.
Well, it's not close.
Yet.
Who knows all
How
that?
close though? Does it say?
You're not sure.
Okay.
Not sure.
Oh yeah, that's right. Don't worry, Tim. I'm keeping track of my arrows. I have 10 left.
What time of night is it?
Wow.
How many hours of
Doing
sleep
good.
have we gotten if we've tried to?
Yeah, I need to rest so I can recuperate some spells.
Yeah. So if Jonathan, if you get 6 hours, you can recover your spell, and you can change it out with something else that's unless you have unless you're particularly afraid of wolves, and then you might wake up a couple times out of fear. But if you're not particularly afraid of them, then you're fine. Like if you don't have a phobia, you're fine.
No, I'm fine.
Tim, those of us with bows and arrows, are we able to make our own arrows?
Not right now because you don't have the shafts or the fletching. I mean, you can take the broken bits and try to the problem is the fletching is glued on. You usually use like a resin from pine type trees and ash mixed together, and you use a resin to glue them on. And then if you can, use a fiber like thread sort of to hold them on if you can. So pulling them off usually destroys the part of the feather that you're putting on there. So you really can get the heads, and unless you have the other parts, you really can't do it on the road. You kind of have to, But you can keep an eye out. You specifically, Heapstack, can keep an eye out for the type of materials that you will need on the road. If you cross a certain bushes that you will help you with making the parts.
That because I'm sitting on 6 arrows, and it's not good.
I feel your pain. Okay.
Right. And also, just so you know, you can't use the short bow arrows because your bow, the draw length on your bow is longer.
Yeah,
and they can't. If they use your arrows, they'll have a penalty to hit because your arrows are made to flex differently.
Yeah, I know I can't use their arrows. So that's.
Hey, Mike, sorry. Can I just call you Heath?
Yeah, you can call me Heath.
Okay. Eloy. She's a fletcher. She can make arrows. So if you leave the heads with her, eventually over a week, probably she'll be able to, and we gather anything that she needs for her. She'll be able to make the arrows for us.
That's awesome. Even though we didn't take that, though, is one of our abilities. Having our own, being barbarians, we would know how to make our own, wouldn't we? Naturally, wouldn't that
you can make some, but how fast and the quality is the variable. If you have the skill, then you can make them much faster, more readily, and higher quality.
Right.
Like you can make stuff that's really good. I think, did you take Fletcher Ilawe?
My father was a fletcher, so you allowed me to gain the skill
I did.
because I learned from him. We talked about this in
It
backstory.
seems like it's too nice for me to say that, but
Give it a lapse.
I'll get it in writing next time.
all right. So I believe you. But she knows how to make short bows and arrows for short bows. She would have to observe and learn how to do long bows.
It would take me time. I would say by the time we get back to the camp, I would know how to make
Let me break it down for everybody. Nobody has time to make arrows on this trip, so don't try to do it anymore. All right.
All right.
I will be praying and thanking the ancestors before I bed down, and anyone within earshot will hear the finality of my prayer, ending with a strange turn of phrase. May the heat of the sun's light kill the fresh wind. And I bed down.
All right.
You're not Fultus, are you? Jesus.
Nope.
Okay. Next day, you wake up before dawn, start getting the animals ready. Mule Skinner, Monkey Boy, and the old guys are shaking the kids up, making sure they're getting up, get to their animals, get their animals ready. And drink some water, and you're ready to push out before the sun rises. He wants everybody ready, so he gets all the animal handler people ready to go.
Me.
And you can, you know, if you're going to change out a spell, this is the time to do it.
I'm just reading over them because I'm still not as familiar as I would like to be because I'm just learning the druids. I'm very used to my specialty priest right now.
Yeah, I'm just with the same spell.
Okay. Daniel, what does that indicate?
So-
This?
Yeah, there's the daily fortune
Yeah,
table.
yeah. What is that? What's the result?
That's no special result.
Okay, I couldn't remember the line. Is it
Yep.
is it 6?
Yeah, 6, 7, 8.
Good for you. Okay, you begin heading out.
We do. Same sort of camp arrangement.
Yeah, I will give Spark the Newt back to Keefstag.
All right.
Going back to my.
He goes right back to my shoulder. It's my little parrot, my little amphibian parrot.
Oh,
The
that
proposed-
exotic creature.
It's a little warm.
So the guide, Sleep Man, says, "Hey, we should probably stick along to the high ground along here.
Yeah.
If we see trouble, we'll just go on the reverse slope of the ground if we need to. We can walk the ridge or walk just down off the ridge to one side or the other, and head around this way."
And head up into the hills there.
Head across this. We could try. Well, we should be able to find a ford here.
Okay. We should be able to cross this here and be on the other side of hills by the end of the day.
If we're fortunate, yes.
This is the way.
Okay, so you head out. Some of the kids are ornery because they're hungry and they only, even though they got a regular meal, they're still whining and complaining and getting on everybody's nerves. Teenagers give you attitude. The old men complain about their joints.
I send
And,
a couple over to Red Fist and say, I think he has food.
Send the teenager over to talk back to Red Fist. Like, Red Fist, why is your fist red now? Oh, sorry.
It is not red now, but it will be soon. Especially if you keep talking to me.
So I mean, you were saying that in character to the kids, right?
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
All right, okay.
No, yeah, no, I'm talking to you, Tim. No,
You're gonna beat the hell out of him.
no. So any of the kids, any of the teenagers, I still try to encourage them, to take, a little bit of lesson with using the weapons. Have they ever used a club? I'll offer pointers, tips to any that are willing to listen.
Oh yeah, they like the bone clubs. A couple that got them. The as you're traveling, you get down around Europe along this area, and you can see kind of paralleling you a little bit lower down on the little low ground. There, you see a small group of coyotes.
Okay.
They're just kind of paralleling you, just kind of.
Well, as much as I would like to encourage one of my comrades to bring a couple down for food, I've watched the arrow attrition that we're having, and I would not recommend that for coyote meat.
No.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're not. They look like they're just interested in just following along,
But the hides would be nice though because winter is coming.
That's true. You're right. Winter is coming.
It's going to be a stark winter.
All right, so you're moving along. It's chilly up here. You get catching a little bit more wind, and then you're going up to even higher ground across here. When you're here, you see, it's rolling hills. The ground is undulating. You know how the ground up and down, and you see from a hill that's maybe quarter mile away, maybe a little less, you see a large shape.
A large.
What type of shape? Circular?
You're going to estimate based on the distance about the size of a pony, but it's shaped more like a wolf.
Okay.
Ooh.
and it looks like there's something next to it, like maybe a little biped. You're not quite sure.
Um,
Who sees this exactly? Because Kraka and I were both, further away from the camp. We're spread out. So
you see him. Oh yeah, you see it. It's not hiding. It's in the sunlight. It's up on a hill. It's watching. Looks like it's.
and so we're ascending the hill at this point. It's at the top.
It's basically to your side. It's perpendicular to you. You're moving across here, and it's
Okay.
on a hill back here. It's the ground is not flat up here. It's not a mesa or anything. It's just rolling hills, and so about 300 meters, 400 meters away is
does
this
it notice
thing.
us?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's looking at you. You had some good eyes. You can tell by its position. It's just watching.
Do I recognize it? Do I recognize what this is from
You suspect it's a dire wolf.
in the biped next to it?
A rider.
About
Thank
4
you.
feet tall.
A goblin? Do I recognize it?
You think it's probably a goblin.
All right. I relay this message in a call back to the party and put my hands up so they could hear me. And I shout out, scout for goblins.
Um,
All right. You hear him say that. Some of the kids get a little concerned. The older guys,
I tell them to
just
be
keep
calm.
walking. Keep walking. And the guide sleep man is looking. He's like, his face is all squinched up, pursed up. He's like,
we should kill that and prevent it reporting to others. Perhaps we can surround the hill it is on.
And then you hear like a horn.
Oh, great.
Sweet.
Perhaps I was late in my speech.
And then you hear an answer. So you're like here, and the answer's from somewhere in this direction. You're not sure exactly where.
Oh, lovely.
From where we came. Great.
Yeah.
So they were watching us. I pull my bow at the ready
All right.
instantly. Who is anybody coming up to where I am on my position now, or am I still out there all by myself?
Well, the guy didn't. Basically, all the guy did was have them go to the far side of the rise that they were on, so that there is a hill between the mule train, and that thing.
Yeah, I know, but Kraka and I both walked away. We're not nowhere near the line of animals and everybody
Well,
else.
tell me how far ahead you want to go.
Well, I thought we were going to be at least the range of our weapon away.
Oh,
from
sure.
the group.
Yeah, that's not that far, but yeah. You can be that far ahead.
For my longbow, that'd be at least 600 yards.
Yeah, we had them ranging several hundred yards ahead, I think was what we had said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, no problem.
All right, so Tim, are we at the sort of at least one of the summits of this high place? Can we see in all directions, or is there still? Is it higher to the north?
You're about to go down.
Okay, so just quickly glancing around the horizon to make sure we're not being flanked. We don't see anything to the north, anything to the west. All we see is the scout to the east and the approaching body, or the horn, I guess, that we heard to the southeast.
The coyotes have been kind of shadowing you all day,
Right.
staying away. You saw as some of you were on a higher point, you saw that warg in the dire wolf in the distance, and you heard somebody sound a horn from that direction, and then you heard an answering horn in the back. There's sporadic trees, so the trees block some views, but you don't see any other threat. You see just normal animals.
All right. Well, look, it's immediately obvious that we're not going to outrun them with this caravan, with the pack animals, with the children.
We got to pick a direction, though.
Pick a direction. What do you mean?
Like, if we move towards the single rider that we know now, we know that there's rider behind us. We don't know if it's one or many. We know that there's one or many in front of us. We should pick a direction, move towards it. Keep moving.
Shouldn't be worried about one scout. We should go towards what we
know.
coming.
We have high ground. We do not go toward them. We set up here. We hide the children and the animals in the middle. A perimeter with our warriors. Let them fight up the hill toward us. Keep our high ground.
That's
You
a
can
good.
use the territory to the advantage. I'm going to begin looking around for like very large boulders and large rocks.
Yeah, we should form up here.
All right.
In space.
So that we're going to try to affect what I just, I think, unless anyone else objects, we're going to move all the pack animals, the children, anything else sort of toward the north side of us, which is why I was making sure that there was nothing flanking us from that side. We'll have a couple of folks on that east side facing the dire wolf and the scout, but we'll array our forces kind of toward that southeast direction at the top of that hill, waiting for whatever is coming from that answering horn call.
So the area is higher than normal, but it's not like a giant prominent hill that's like a single hill. It's a bunch of,
I'll take whatever the hill is.
So
better be on
whatever
top.
the hill it is.
Whatever the hill it is. I don't care if it's a 10%, 20%, 30% grade. It's still better to be on top.
Yeah, and so you want the
right.
You want the mule train to continue down towards the intermittent stream, or are you saying they're stopping?
No, stop them.
Okay. And so they're going to be out of sight with that rise between them and where you saw the dire wolf.
Yes.
And you're going to be on the rise,
Correct.
keeping an eye out.
Correct.
All right.
Everyone agree? I'm not trying to. This is what Red Fist would do, but I want to make sure you guys are all in agreement.
I'm good for it.
Makes sense.
Can
Nope.
we
All
still
right.
see the rider? Is the guy still there with his dire wolf? He is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How far away exactly? Range?
You estimate about a quarter mile,
Quarter mile.
300-400 meters. Yeah.
I
Red
can
Fist-
easily hit him with my longbow, right?
No.
No, not quite that far. Red Fist will look at Jothi and kind of motion back toward where the pack horses and the children are. Should you not be with them?
No, I can be of use.
Oh,
Did you say I couldn't hit him, Tim?
That is way out of range. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can shoot your arrow if you want and mark that arrow off.
Nope.
I don't want to tell you you can't shoot it, Mike. I want you to feel free to shoot that thing.
You're evil, man. You're can be so evil sometimes.
It's desperate, man. It's desperate lands. What can I say?
Oh, that indeed.
so I'll
Okay.
have my hand axe tucked in my belt. I've got my short bow out, eyes scanning the horizon.
All right. Based on the smell of urine and poop on some of the kids, you can tell they're afraid.
I'll look back at them and lift my voice for the first time. Children of Pelu, you are with warriors. The ancestors smile upon us this day. Whatever comes behind, they will be food for crows, and we will take their weapons and their armor, and we will laugh at them as we carry away all of their items. Nothing for you to fear.
All right.
Goblin armor will fit the kids.
Huh?
Goblin armor will fit the kids.
That's true. Yes, it will.
We're assuming goblins. Hopefully that's correct, and it's not a horde of hobgoblins coming out, but we'll see.
Well, it was a goblin next to the dire
right.
wolf.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he could be the scullery maid for a bigger group. So
No.
No, there's just a few. They're raiders that are in the area, so they'd probably be lightly armed. Like us, we'd have like horseback, same type of tactics that as a bandit would employ.
That's crazy. Okay, so the kids are gathered up. You're standing by. How long do you wait?
I'm gonna hide.
Well,
It is almost nightfall now.
Of course it is. So from here, we have a pretty clear view of that valley that we've just come through to the southeast. We see nothing.
You don't see any other than the coyotes. Coyotes shadowing you. Yeah, they're around. They're kind of barking and playing and making noise. There's always a couple kind of lounging around watching you as you're sitting there.
Do they seem natural?
This is a good thing, guys. Because as long as the coyotes are feeling comfortable, then they're not sensing or they're not smelling anything else that could be of danger.
I'm gonna take a piece of the bear meat and go down to near the coyotes.
Ooh.
And
Some of them, they get kind
I'm-
of like, they start paying attention and they're like,
The druid's
Okay.
going with him.
who is?
Me. I'm going with him.
They're looking.
Eltron's gonna sit on the hill with his newt and just watch
I'm casting animal friendship.
and eat jerky.
As they're doing this, how far is the dire wolf and the goblin on that other hill? How far away is that, Tim?
Approximately 300 to 400 meters.
All right. I'm going to, you said it's getting to be dusk.
Oh yes, it's getting dark.
I'm going to look at Death Crow and Heafstag as
You're
Ilway.
going to look for Death Crow.
Well, I didn't see where you hit. Okay, all right. Then I'll go to Heafstag as Elatron and Iloi are romancing the coyotes, and I will.
I'm not over there.
Yeah, Elatron just standing there watching, and it's Joppi and
Oh,
Iloi.
Joppi. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So I will let Heafstag know. I will try to sneak up on the scout and kill him.
Okay.
Would you like to come with me?
Yes.
All right. So while they're doing this, Heafstag and I, we're going to split off, try to move between the trees, the rocks, as there's now shadow of dusk, and see if we can't circle around and flank this scout that's 300 to 400 meters away.
Okay. You're going to take yourself off the rise, stay
Right.
at the low ground, and try to maneuver
Exactly.
around
Kind of
behind.
come around through the trees behind and try to come up the opposite side.
Okay. Are you setting yourself a time limit you want to do this, or are you going to take as much time as needed to be as silent and quiet as possible?
I need some more context for that. If you're asking if I'll take 6
if
hours,
you're like, hey, I'm going to spend an hour to get there, then that means sometimes you're going to push.
yeah. So I would, even if I spend an hour to get there, it's only 400 meters away. Now, circuitous route, maybe more. I could still get back much more quickly. For example, what I'm saying is if we see, yeah. So I think we'll take an hour to get there. I've got no problem taking time getting there, but I want to make sure that we're still in proximity to get back quickly should the enemy appear from the southeast.
Sure. You can, getting back is not, you can sprint back and get there pretty fast.
Yeah.
So
We'll take our time.
Taking your time. One is like you're looking to do it the best way possible, no matter how long it takes, or you're looking to target doing it at a certain speed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's why I was asking for context. So I guess the way I would answer is, and Heafstag, speak up if you disagree. I think we would take, if it's an hour we're talking about, and that is then that's what we'll do. We'll take a full hour moving as slow as necessary to give us the best opportunity for surprise.
Yeah.
So, all right. So it could take you longer than an hour. That's why I'm saying if you're gauging it that way, then, because you want to move very silently.
Well, then I guess you're going to have to give us because, I'm not going to spend 6 hours doing it. So I don't know what my range
All
is.
right, we'll call it as you go. So you move around. You probably move about 300 meters to the side,
Mm-hmm.
and you're pretty quiet. You are much quieter than Heapstag.
Shh.
So, and
I
as
have
you're
survival
moving,
and tracking, wouldn't I be pretty silent?
well, I mean, compared to a dude in plate mail, you're totally silent. But sneaking is not really, move silently is not one of those skills that comes readily. You can track and you can hunt. You're generally quiet, but we're talking about sneaking up on a scout, right? That's also an animal. So, and compared to what a barbarian is sneaking, versus the priest, you're quieter than the average person, but compared to Red Fist, you're not.
I forgot to ask, stupid me, what direction is the wind blowing?
It's blowing. It's a crosswind between where you're facing right now. So if you approach from the angle you have, the wind will be blowing from them towards you.
Perfect.
As it currently is now.
Sure. Perfect. Then we'll continue.
Okay. So you spend about an hour. You're estimating you're probably within 200 feet.
Just one question, if I may. Do I see them trot off and head towards the scout?
I don't know. Where were you hiding again?
In amongst the just outside the ring of our ring of animals and stuff, up in a tree.
Yeah,
So
I
had
mean,
advantage.
they weren't hiding from the party. They weren't
No.
hiding from the group. So yeah, you can see them. And he was saying, "Hey, we're going to go, and anyone want to go?" So yeah, you saw him go.
Right.
I'll follow them at a shy distance.
All right. So we get within 200 feet, as you said. I'll hold up a hand silently to Heafstag, and I'll make a motion to him, and I'll point at the small figure, assuming it's a
Well,
goblin.
you don't see him. You're estimating that you're within 200 feet.
Okay, because we're still below the rise.
That and the grass, because you're starting to get fairly close. If you stand up, you're going to be at risk, maybe being seen. You feel that's the case.
Yeah.
And Heafstag, if they're about 200 feet away, they just entered your long range.
Okay, so 200 feet is long range. All right, then I think we would continue to sneak forward, try to get within 100 feet, particularly if the wind remains in our favor. If the wind shifts, we'll do something different.
Okay, so now you're basically crawling below the grass level.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Takes you a decent amount of time. At what point are you going to try to poke your head up?
When I feel we're about 100 feet away, I will, and again, I am dark of hair and dark of skin, so I will make this motion to Heafstag, and I will just try to peek my eyes over the horizon of the grass.
Okay.
And I'm making motion for him to have his bow ready.
All right. It is very dark. And, you're not sure you can see him from where you're at right now. You don't see them.
Okay. And there's no moon?
Not yet.
Okay.
Ooh, good question, though. Thanks for bringing that up. Hold on. All right. Overcast, but not yet raining.
Okay. Yeah, there's two Tims because Jay had to step away and you can't isolate like that. So I will look at Heafstag and kind of shrug, and we'll start creeping forward closer. We want to get close enough to where we can see something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll try to have the distance again, get us within 50 feet.
Okay. You're moving, and I don't want to say who, but somebody makes a big noise. It's loud. It's so loud that you're both are like, oh crap.
As in one of us did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was Heafstag.
Wow.
I was rolling most silently. I rolled a 99.
So we'll
well, you hear a growl. I mean, you hear a growl.
All right, then I'm gonna leap up. I'll make the motion to Heafstag, and I will let out a cry.
Roll for initiative.
Who? Which one?
Oh, John, roll for initiative.
Okay. That's a 5 on the die.
All right. You jump up and you're running forward. What's your intelligence?
16.
All right. Go ahead and do an intel check.
Okay, so I gotta go below 64.
You now see 20 of them. No.
And you all see Red Fist and Heafstag come running back down the hill screaming. That is a...
It's like that early scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where he's like running away from that tribe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a 48, and I needed below a 64, so I made it.
Start the
Okay.
plane.
All right, so you're moving. You can tell by the sounds you hear that you are pretty close.
All right.
Are you going to run full speed?
Well, it depends. I mean, do I have, when you say pretty close, what is my context for that? Like, can I even
You think you're within 50 to 70 feet, and you heard the growl, and so you can run in that general direction, but you don't see him when you first start running. So if you basically, if you run fast enough to cover that distance,
That's a hell of a growl hearing it from 50, 60 feet away.
well, it is a dire the
wind.
size of a pony.
and the wind is coming toward us, so it'll help carry the ground. So, I guess what I'm Tim, to be 50 feet away and not be able to see something as big as a dire wolf, this must be just absolute pitch blackness, right? I mean,
It's very dark. Yeah.
That's crazy. And we're not in woods. We're on a.
You're in mostly it's grassy up here in this spot. Yeah.
Still can't see him. That's crazy.
all right. Well, I just think, I'm gonna sprint toward him.
All right, you're sprinting towards him. As you do get close to him. As you're getting close to him, you see that it's been like hunkered down like in the grass. And what it's doing is it's getting up, and it's has a rider on it, and it's going due east.
So it's trying to run from us.
So you're running it, and it's running away. So you both are like, you're almost to it, and he runs.
Loose your arrow, Eastag.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
When it pops up, he's stag. You do see it.
The rider.
I'm shooting at the rider.
You'll be able to get one shot. I'm assuming that you were delaying your action so that you could react, so that when you see something, you can take an action.
Yep.
Okay.
17. That's a straight 17.
You hit. All right. Roll 1d6. And you're shooting at the rider?
Yes.
Are you sure? Come on.
He is sure.
All right.
4 points of damage.
All right. You hear, and the thing runs off. And then you're pretty sure you heard something fall on the ground.
Yeah.
Ooh.
In the darkness. You're pretty sure you heard something fall.
I say to Red Fist, he fell. I got him. He fell.
Of course he did, Eastag. My friend, you have bones. And I go running to where I heard the creature fall, where I saw his arrow drop.
Yep. And you find a goblin with an arrow in his lungs.
All right. I'm just going to sling him over my shoulder and walk back to Heathstag. I don't know if we see Death Crow yet or not, but we're going to take him back to camp.
All right. Yep. You run into Death Crow.
I also take my arrow out of him and retrieve my arrowhead.
All right.
All right. And so we'll walk back to camp. And of course, we distracted from Jothi and Eloi.
Just a second. Where's the wolf?
Oh, it ran away. It ran.
Running. Thank God.
I think you were asking us, right?
Yeah.
It ran swiftly, but it will not speak. It cannot tell the tale. This one is dead.
Okay, so while that's going on, let's go back to the coyotes. Backtrack. You guys headed out towards that. Iloway and Jothi were approaching the coyotes.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I'm casting Speak with Animals.
Say again.
I'm casting Speak with Animals.
Okay.
I am taking a piece of mistletoe and tying it to a piece of dried meat, kind of fashioning like a little lead.
Mhm.
And I'm casting, once I get within range, I'm going to be casting Animal Friendship.
Okay.
Range is 1 foot, so I have to get pretty close.
Yeah.
So maybe I should
10 feet.
allow Jothi to speak to them first before I get too close.
Okay. Jothi, what do you want to say?
I say to them, I have some food here, but I would like some information in exchange.
I like food.
Um, And you can have some. Can you tell me about creatures riding your larger cousins, the wolves? Have you seen them around?
Ah, bad.
Do you know which direction you've seen them?
Ah, by the river.
And then I point to the southeast, that way.
Yeah.
How many did you see? As many as you are, or more, or less?
Yes.
More?
Yes.
Okay. So then I'll toss him a piece of the bear meat.
Mmm.
I'll kneel down and hang out the lead and entice him in closer. Once he gets within 1 foot, because that's the casting range on this animal friendship.
10 feet.
10 feet? It says
Yeah.
1 foot for me. Is that weird?
1 inch. And
So-
1 inch on the
'cause I'm looking at
tabletop,
1D.
it translates to 10 feet. That's fine.
Is
You get
that-
close to
oh,
it.
wow, I need new glasses.
It
That's
also it takes an hour to fully do it if you're trying to, because you're trying to befriend them and get them to. So it's a
casting time 6 turns. Well, but the amount of time that they've been taking to go
Sure,
run
sure,
off.
yeah, no problem. I'm just illustrating. You know, you're spending time trying to cajole it and talk to it and all that.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in the dirt with my legs crossed. We're just chatting with coyotes.
Okay, and the coyote he's hanging out with you and he's wants more food.
I will give you more food if you are willing to lead us to this encampment. Seems we are in agreement. And I toss him the one with mistletoe wrapped on it.
What did he say?
He said, "I want more food now."
You need to wait.
I'm waiting on them to get back. And then once that's the case, I mean, I'm not going to try and get them to come closer to the encampment. I'm going to let them kind of stay where they are. But I'll just, I'll have Jothi speak to them and tell them to not go anywhere. And we'll signal to them when we're ready.
Okay. Well, it seems like this coyote that she was trying to focus on, it seems like he's keeping his sense of what he wants to do about him. So it seemed like he hasn't been becharmed.
That's
I'd
right.
have to roll for that, and then you would
There's a saving throw.
roll against it. Okay. And
I
if
was
you
a saving throw.
fail,
I rolled a saving throw and he made it.
okay.
The hunger just dominated. He just couldn't see past it to be friends. He just wants food. But luckily he can talk to him, so that way so you know not to come back too much, because if they're too hungry and you come back by yourself, they might try to
Eat ya.
eat you.
Mhm.
So they're still shadowing you, and he still stays close, and they seem comfortable with you two. They seem like they're pretty comfortable.
I tell him, don't come too close to our camp, or people might get alarmed and you may be harmed.
One says, right. All right. Good thinking, though. Good thinking.
All right.
I was
So
thinking that animal friendship would have been really handy with that bear.
no, the food was handy with that bear.
Food is handy with the bear too. Yeah, it's like friend or food.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, all
so-
food, all friends. So are we back to camp yet?
Yes, you're back to camp. Everyone's come
All right.
back. The kids are tired, sitting around. All the animals are. It's not really a camp. They were waiting to move.
Right. So first thing I'll do when we get in, I'm gonna see that group of kids. I'm gonna drop that goblin right in the ground in front of them and say, "This is the first of our offerings. and I'm going to pull the horn off of wherever it had it clipped to its belt, a patch,
Yep.
whatever, wherever it had the horn.
Yep.
Now, are Ilawi or Jothi saying anything to us about this conversation they had? I'll just, before I say anything, I want to see what they're doing.
Yeah, we report that the coyotes have seen them, and there seem to be a lot of them. So how many coyotes were there?
6.
So there's more than 6 is what they indicated.
Did they say they were moving, or were they camped?
They
By the
s-
river.
They indicated the direction they were, which was to the southeast.
Which we knew.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Perhaps
All right.
you could use the horn to divert them.
Precisely.
Yeah.
I can run east. And so Tim, with the terrain, obviously the hill that we topped where the scout was originally is there. Are there further undulating hills to the east?
Yes.
All right. Then I'm going to look at Eloi and Electron and Jothi and Heefstag and Kraka and say, Redfist will run. I will run like the wind to the east. I will go 2 hills over. I will blow the horn there. It will draw them, ancestors willing.
Is
And-
the wind from the east?
Well, it hasn't moved, Tim.
It changes, but mostly it's blowing northwest to southeast, and you see there's clouds coming with it.
Okay.
Heavy clouds.
If ancestors willing, they follow the horn. You can flank. Come from behind them.
I don't know. Do we want to take
Getting-
the time to
I'm
engage?
getting a sense of a paternal presence.
But then we will have to leave everyone unprotected.
I put a chair over here if you want to sit down.
We
Yeah,
have,
my dad just walked in. That was the paternal
Oh.
presence. I was thinking.
well, so Jothi, we have Sleet, we have Monkey Boy, we had a couple other older warriors. We have so it's not like we're leaving them unprotected. And the prime threat, the goblins are the threat. We have warriors that can stay behind. We will not be that far.
They're riders. If they are wolf riders, their mounts are just as dangerous as they are.
Is this what the coyotes told you? And he looks at Jothi. They ride.
Oh, the goblin wolf riders that they're dangerous.
Yeah.
The
So
wolves are more powerful than the goblins.
yeah, and I'd asked how many of the wolves there were, and there were more than 6. Is that correct, Tim? Is that what they indicated?
That's what he said.
I see no better plan. Do you have one? We cannot be harried from behind.
I think I do. And if you hear my counsel on this, we take the clothing from your kill. And with his horn, as far as we can get southwest of here, but not and plant it and use a stick so that the wind will go through the clothing. Sound the horn, so the horn will let them know it's from this direction. The scent of that goblin will be on the wind, so that their wolves will follow that scent. And then whoever quickly rides or runs back to us, we move a little bit further, and we find another place which can be more safe, and I can try and cover our tracks, so that it'll be a little bit less difficult, more difficult for them to find us.
All right. So I nod as Death Crow is speaking. When he's finished, I say, first, it is not my kill. It is Hastag's kill. Second, Tim, I'm assuming, like most horns, it's going to take more force than a breeze to sound this horn. It would, yeah. So I think that's
you have to use your lips as an embouchure to
However, so I'll relay this. I'll relay this to Deathcrow. This battle horn, it cannot be blown by wind. But
And it's got goblin spit on it.
your plan, otherwise, is sound.
No,
I can,
you blow it, wash it out, or if you have to, if you don't like goblin split. When you get to the location where you're at, you blow that horn.
that's what I was
And then,
suggesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
you leave it there with his jacket or coat or whatever he's wearing, and then boot it back to our location.
I think this plan is good. Everyone else?
Sleepman says, if our expectations are correct, if these are raiders, they probably don't care about us. They've seen we have empty horses, empty mules. Why raid us now?
Because we do have horses and we do have mules.
But much better is fully packed horses and mules is much better.
Understood, but we should take them out now rather than allowing them to flank us later when we do have full horses
Well,
and full mules.
We're
Yes.
aware of them now. We know, and we know roughly their numbers.
Will be harder to travel though once we have full packs. We are most mobile now, and we know where they are.
This is wisdom.
As it is said, a good soldier is a poor scout. I feel a sense of maternal presence as well. Hi, Mom. All right.
Hi, Mom.
So, should we have the caravan continue on in the night as I run south? So we put more distance between the caravan and, what those raiders are going to do once they realize they've been foiled.
Sleepman likes that idea. He says we've been stationary. They can be moving. He likes the idea of moving mules. That was my mom. The mule skinner 5 agrees. The 2 older guys agree. They let us keep moving. We can go for another full day and then we'll have to really rest. But
Okay. All right. Then
you
I will.
can lead them. You can try to lead the other ones off, but be careful if they're all mounted.
Yeah. Well, I get that. So my plan is, I'll do exactly as was suggested. I'm going to, bring a stick with me, bring the clothes from the goblin. We'll also, loot the goblin, anything else that has on it. If it has useful weapons, a dagger, whatever, we'll give that to the children. We'll continue to arm the rest of our encampment. And then when I run to the southwest and I blow that horn, I'm going to blow it very similarly to however the duration, the length, the whatever I heard from the raider when he blew it. That's how I'll do it. And then I will immediately start running. So what I'm counting on is the distance it will take them to get from, if they follow it, from where they are to there, and then to track me down. And if, and again, with my barbarian speed, I run, I've got a base movement of 15, plus I have long running capability. So I think that's the best plan we have.
Do you not want to use a horse if you can utilize a horse?
A horse will tire. I will not.
Okay.
Okay, so they're going to continue moving, and they're going to try to get to the ford anyway. If the moon's not out and it's not bright enough, they're not going to cross until they can see better.
Okay.
So they'll either meet you near the ford or on the other side of it, depending on the light.
I nod at them. Be safe, my new tribe. Ancestors be with you. And I'll take off loping to the southwest.
And with
Okay.
you.
So southwest, New Pointer. How far are you going? You're going to cross this little stream head, and how far do you want to go?
Yeah, I would say at a good loping pace, how far could I get in an hour? I'm not going to be exhausting myself. I'm not sprinting. I'm just moving at a good sort of jogging loping pace.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Right here.
An hour?
I'm gonna go further.
I mean, you're jogging, right? Or do you want to move faster than just a jog?
Yeah, I'm gonna move. I mean, I'm gonna move.
Yeah, I'll give you here. You can give
Yeah.
you-
Yeah, I'll take that. All right. So when I get there, that's where I'll put the goblin clothing, jerkin, whatever it had, up on the stick.
The little horn.
And I'm going to keep the horn with me, and I start sprinting, using my full rate of movement, however long run I can run. And I am going to actually take a looping route. So instead of going straight toward the ford,
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to the northwest and come back around to where the ford is to make an even more circuitous route.
Like that.
Yep.
Okay. You can tell by the lay of the valley, you have a choice to go, right along the stream on one side or the other. But it sounds like you want to go on the northern side of the stream.
Correct.
So you'll meet them either on the shore here or you'll be across the ford from them.
Correct.
All right. You can get there.
All right. That's what I
When
do.
you sound the horn, you do hear other horns. And one of the horns that you heard was freaking close. Like right in here. Like, you're like, ooh, 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 ooh.
All right. Then, yes, I am making haste forthwith.
I'll be nice and not do a roll to see if you break your ankle in some hole you don't see.
This is familiar territory. Come on. I'm a barbarian, Tim.
Righto. Okay. And the rest of the people were moving with was everyone else moving with?
Along with the caravan.
All right. Very good. All right. You get to the ford area and you're going to have to wait because the rain has started and it's too difficult to see. And it's a little bit, it's an intermittent stream. So it's a little bit fuller now as the runoff has swollen it. So you have to wait till daylight. Okay. Daylight comes. I'll say you can make it back. It's fine. You're on the other side of the ford from them, though, John.
Okay. But they are, the plan was for them to ford, correct?
Right. It just was too heavy and too dark to do that at night. So you can be right on the other side. And it's always good to have far side security. So next day, they can try to make that ford in the morning. They're going to have to tie a couple together. They'll have to put the small kids on the pack animals or they'll get washed away. And then some of the adults can bring the pack animals across. While doing this, one of the horses kind of loses its footing and gets swept downstream.
Mm.
Aren't they all tied together?
Well, it's handmade cordage. Sometimes things happen. So you have 29 horses now.
Well, can't we save the horse?
You want to stop and try to save the horse?
What happened to the horse? Sorry. What?
It got swept down. It swept off of the ford area, and now it's in deeper water and getting swept downstream.
Nope. Bye-bye, horsey.
It may still survive.
Yes, it might come out on its own.
It's heading towards the goblins and the wolves.
Well, it's going to head more west.
Oh, yeah,
northeast.
it's the opposite way. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Love the
You're
druid
lucky.
waving at the horse as it goes by.
Live free. All right. So you've crossed. Now where do you remember? This is your destination.
Can we see the map? Can you draw the map down a little bit?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do.
Well, do we want to hit up onto the oh geez, sorry, I'm pointing to it like you can see me. Do we want to hit? Okay, looking at the big brown gloop that looks like a bat in the sort of in front of us.
Yeah.
That stands between us and our
You passed the Rorschach test. Well done.
yeah. Okay, looking at the that higher ground on the
Yeah.
left-handed side, we go up that way, and we take that and we stick to the high ground all the way until we need to go down to our objective.
Like that, or like that.
Yeah, sticking to the high ground.
What does our
Great.
guy think?
Guide says that will be the fastest way.
That way, we don't have to worry about crossing any more fjords and losing any more horses
Fastest
down.
way, and we'll have
Mhm.
more. We'll have more visibility. We also may be seen easier sometimes, but will be faster.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, and also throughout the night, it looks like some of the people have been getting into the food, so it looks like about half of the food's been eaten.
What?
Or half of the food's missing. I'll put it that way.
Half of the food is missing.
It wasn't on the horse, was it?
Not on that horse, no.
Okay, good.
But those kids waiting around hungry. There's only so much adult supervision. Things happen.
I guess we might lose a couple along the route.
All right. So is that the plan?
That is the plan.
All right. You're going to seek to ford here somewhere, hit the high ground, and run the high ground down to your getting close to your.
So let it be written, so let it be
Link
done.
Very good. As you are traveling, you
wanna-
still,
Mike, do you want to adapt that same pattern that we had before? A couple hundred meters, or couple hundred yards
Yep,
ahead of the group, left and right.
that's right.
Okay.
okay. You see the coyotes. They're shadowing you, but then they start sniffing you, and they kind of run off ahead of you. They run off in front of you. And then you can see that as you get closer to where the stream is, you come across a glade, and you see there's like a small herd of deer. Well, there's a substantial herd of deer there, and the coyotes are kind of stalking off to the to the west.
So we lost half our food. We had 3 days, so we have a day and a half food remaining.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take some deer down.
Here,
If
let me snag
I-
some first.
My
Say
friend-
again.
My friends, I would counsel we have food that should be sufficient. I think haste is most important. We are followed.
You guys go ahead with the main crew. I'll go and I'll see if I can get a deer, and I'll catch up as soon as I can.
So how many days food do we have
A
left?
day and a half.
Okay.
And I judge we're about a day to a day and a half away from the camp based on the pace of movement we've had.
Hello.
Yeah,
I like
we're
this
in
plan.
trail tracker, so it might not be wise to hang back.
I'll be okay.
Tim, 30-minute time limit. Just a reminder.
We're gonna go over.
What? 30 minutes? I thought we were playing for 5 or 6 hours today.
No, we're definitely is not gonna finish today. Not in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and Jay's got a hard stop. He's got a family obligation, so we have to be done in 30.
Well,
Right. So,
Sorry,
I
Jay.
didn't know that.
so I will nod at Death Crow, and I'll instruct the rest of the caravan to move, and we'll let him do some hunting behind us.
So Jay, you have a hard stop in 30 minutes.
Unless you want me to get divorced.
Okay. Well, then we're going to adjust. All right. So that I can try to kill you. Your plan will work swimmingly. You are shadowed by more wargs, dire wolves. You can go down. You can do your link
Cranka
up.
brings back 2 deer.
Yeah. We're fast forwarding to the fact that you finally get there after hemming and hawing so long, and you
Okay.
get there and you get your supplies. So all your pack animals are loaded. You also find out, hey, there's some boxes with these things in there, and you can kind of look in there, and you see you have boxes and crates that have metal hand axes.
I knew you were going to say that.
And you also find some metal arrows. Metal
Oh
tipped arrows.
boy.
Wow.
A lot of them.
Wow. Wow.
And you see these containers, you don't know how they work. They look like they're made of wood and they're curved, but there's liquid inside, but the liquid doesn't come through the wood. You don't know how it works. But you have those strapped on some of the mules and things like that. So you have a lot of supplies. So your stuff's weighted down, you're fed. The people who meet you are very professional and have a very hidden site with all these supplies waiting for you. You don't know how they got them there, but they're all waiting for you, and they load up your stuff very fast.
Are there additional people coming with us?
Nope.
Okay, so it's just gonna be our same crew.
Yep, they're like, hey, we're here to deliver this. They deliver it, and then they, as soon as you guys are loaded, boom, they move out very fast.
All right, so
They move due west.
right, so what? I assume we can all take, if we want, a metal hand axe or sufficient supply.
Certainly, you can change out your stone axe for metal.
Can I grab 2 metal axes? Are there enough for that?
Oh, there's probably over 100 axes.
Okay, and I'll take 2 axes.
Yeah, same here.
And then how many arrows?
Your quiver can hold 12, right?
Correct.
I thought it was 20.
It depends on what quiver. I guess. What do you have written down?
My short bow quiver will hold 12. Are the arrows, are there arrows sufficient for the composite bow that Heathstag has as well, or just short bow arrows?
There is a much smaller selection of arrows that are for heavier, longer bows.
Okay.
But he can plus up to, a dozen or so.
Okay, here's a question. Are the arrows already wrapped in quivers?
They are bundled in sheaths. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a sheath.
Right.
How many's in a sheath?
Oh, they're bundled in groups of 12.
12.
And you said, how many can I find of my arrows?
Well, remember, you're supplying the whole tribe, but you can find, compared to the number of short bow arrows, there's a much smaller amount of longbow arrows, but you certainly can find them, and you can, grab 12 of them.
All right. So
An
I got
extra sheath.
Come home to daddy.
You're rich.
My God.
Food is no longer a problem either.
Woohoo!
All right.
Hmm.
Okay. You're heading home. You're arrowed up and you're moving along. When you're up here in the hills, you hear howls, and you're approached from the west side by a number of wolf howls. You hear a horn blow, and you hear sounds in front of you, and you hear sounds of horses to your east.
Horses.
Yes.
You still got the horn?
I do.
So, very shortly, you see that there are a small handful of wolf riders, and in front of you, it looks like you see some tribal guys running towards you. But you notice the front part of their face is all red right down here in the front. It's all red right here. And you also see some other horsemen coming from the east.
Do I recognize the tribal markings?
Yes, they are the Agavul, the blood drinkers. They are the ones that allied with the humanoids.
Yeah, we would all recognize them.
Yep.
And how many are there?
You see 3 Agavul guys riding towards you.
What do I see to the east, Tim? Well, you said horses.
You see a spread out group of 5 horsemen riding towards you. Looks like most of them have spears. You see one with a bow.
All right, and the ones to the east, they're not on the high ground yet, correct? Because we're sort of on the edge of the high ground, so they're coming up from the east.
They're on the hills, but they're probably about 2 rounds away. 2 melee rounds away as they're riding.
But they're level with us, you're saying then?
Yeah. Yep.
How far are they in yards approximately?
200 yards, 300 yards.
All right. So we see a bowman atop the horses. We see, are they Warg Rider or Dire Wolf Riders both south and west?
Nope, they're only coming from the west. There's 4.
Do we see any bowmen there?
Do you see bowmen there? Nope.
All right. Histag. The bow, and I point toward the rider atop, coming from the west or the east rather.
How far
And
away is he, Tim?
200 or 300 yards. So they're not quite in range yet, but you can get yourself positioned to engage as soon as they enter your range.
Plus
will
2.
That I will ready that action.
Very good.
as he's doing that, I take out war paint and I put a chevron here and a chevron here and a circle around my face.
All right.
Yeah, I will likewise take out some blue war paint from a pouch on my.
Are you going to do your ancestral accord if you have it?
I am, yes, but I was
Likewise.
Yeah, those of you who have it, be mindful of it because I'll forget. I don't remember who has it all, but now is
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah,
All right.
I will do mine, and I'll pull out
Yeah.
the newt.
I'll do that as well.
Okay. As the horsemen get close, you notice that they're actually not humans; they're hobgoblins.
figured.
Okay. The bowman is the one I'm going to concentrate on.
Okay.
Likewise.
I've got my short bow ready. I'm also going to be focusing on one of the hobgoblins, but not the one that they're focused on, one of the other riders. I'll have my hand axes at my hips ready for a quick change. And of course, I'll have to wait longer because my short bow won't get the range that
All right. The mule skinner is giving orders and yelling orders at they're basically putting the mules that were in a line, they're bringing them up side by side to put them in a tighter group so they can circle them with spears and keep people back away from them. Keep as many alive as possible. That's what they're doing with the kids.
I'd like to start channeling produce flame and waiting until they get in area
Are you using, is this because with your newt?
with the newt.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
Oh,
You don't need a channel. It does it.
oh, perfect.
You can just tell it what to do.
Fire newt.
What
Yeah.
group is going to hit us first?
It looks like they're going to hit simultaneously, actually.
Hmm.
The
Remarkable coordination.
yeah, the goblins they have spears on the little back of their little spears on the back of their wolves, and the hobgoblins have spears except for the one with a bow, and they're all coming in close.
How many goblins did you say there were?
4.
4.
Are
Are we
reading
all-
entangle spell?
Say again.
Reading an entangle spell?
Okay. You
Are
can do
we
that.
all standing together too? All of us, the party?
I'm assuming you guys can decide which side you're on of the, which enemy are you facing? You tell me now, and then that's the side you're on, and then we'll roll for initiative.
Yeah, well, who's standing where? That's what I wanted to know. And how far apart is everybody?
So I'm standing next to Heafstag facing toward the horse riders.
The hobgoblins?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm slightly behind Red Fist and off to the right, still looking at those hobgoblins.
Okay. So you're towards the direction you were heading, which is on the south side a little bit. Okay.
So if I have time, I'll yell out to Monkey Boy, Sleet, all those warriors, guard the west flank where the riders are coming, and then all the remainder, including the armed teenagers, to the south flank where the unmounted goblins are coming.
Okay. I'm going to do something before I ready my bow and before
it doesn't
they're still out of range.
They're going to be in range after one round.
Okay, well, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go into the middle of where I can pretty much put all of us in range, the whole party, and I'm going to cast Bless.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone feels blessed. Hang be with you. All right. Very good.
All
Jackie,
right.
where are you at? Are you facing the goblin side, the barbarian side, or the hobgoblin side?
The hobgoblins.
Yeah.
You're not
hobgoblin.
Joffy.
Oh, sorry.
How close are they riding together, the hobgoblins versus the?
The hobgoblins are pretty spaced out. They're
Okay.
pretty spaced out. The wolves are kind of close together.
Okay, I'm moving over to the west side with the wolves.
Okay. You're gonna try to do an entangle?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Death Pro.
I'm going to be concentrating on that hobgoblin with the bow.
Okay, so you're on the east side.
Yeah.
Go that way.
How many people are already on the east?
Most, except for Jaffe.
And then the side with the
As far as
goblins.
your crew, Monkey Boy is facing the Agavul.
Apologies, I was trying to write down like which ones had ranged weapons, which one has the most ranged weapons, because there's already a lot on the east.
Nobody has bows out except for one hobgoblin.
There's only one
Oh,
hobgoblin.
one hobgoblin.
The
Okay.
rest of them have spears.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, then I will face towards the Ugavul.
The barbarians.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
With my bow prepared, and of course I did take a sheath of 12 metal arrowheads.
Nice. Okay, so everyone, the Agavul are charging up. It looks like they're going to run up on you and either try to spear you from horseback or jump off because they're coming hard. Hobgoblins, they're mostly coming really, really hard. The bowman is going to pull back a little bit as he gets close and then turn parallel to your line moving south. So he's going to do a left turn. Well, no, he's going to do a right turn and head north behind his fellows, but also, you know, he has his bow out. The wolves are running straight for the closest person, whether Jaffe, it's you, or whether it's the kids and the mules, wherever you position yourself. That the closest thing to them is where they're all going. They're headed straight for it.
Yeah, I'm standing out front, and then as soon as they come in range, I'm dropping the entangle on.
All right. We're going to roll for initiative in the action of closing. You're going to get your range stuff off before they get too close. But ready? Who wants to roll? That last one who rolled and won, was that John?
It was me.
All right. Beat a 6.
I did not. That was a 3.
Yes. All right. So the hobgoblin archer sees all you guys bearing down on him, and he's going to shoot. Who's the one who's making the most noise over there on the east side? Is that you, Red Fist? Are you making the most noise?
Yeah, it would be me because I was shouting out instructions. But Tim, again, would Heafstag's compound bow not have greater range than
Oh, no, he's going to get his shots. He's going to get his shots off.
Okay. All right. Just checking. I'm calling upon the ancestors.
I rolled a 20. Natural 20.
I blow my nose in your general direction.
You do not have a special.
I do not have a special.
Oh, no. A head hit.
On who?
'Tis but a scratch.
Red Fist. Even odd, it's the left eye. Even it's the right eye.
Oh, the right is my favorite.
Left eye. Ugh. You've been shot in the eyeball. The arrow lodges in the bony orbit, causing clear gelatinous substance to run down your face. You are stunned.
Damage?
Damage. 8.
How much? 8?
8.
Okay.
I will tell you that luck was bad on the other parts, but it was good on the roll. I rolled 2 1s on that damage.
Well, no, I know because I know what the damage is on that crit. So, he was in mid. He had just called on the ancestors. He was in mid battle cry.
Ancestors. I guess it was your mom's ancestors that heard you.
Yeah, I guess so.
It was on your mom's side. Sorry.
Apparently so.
So that's the only ranged weapon they have. Now your turn to unleash.
Yeah.
Each stag, you have the longest range. You can wait till they're in short range, which for you is 60.
I'll shoot now.
If you kill him instantly, I'll say that the crit didn't happen. If you roll like an instant kill on this guy,
Well, yeah, I was gonna say because he would
because that means because you got the shots off first before he waited till he was close to fire. So I'll let it happen. Let's go. Roll.
No pressure, Mike. Use that special. Use that.
Got 17.
All right, you hit. You get 2 shots.
Get 2 shots. Hero points.
I get 2 shots, huh?
Let's see.
And the last one's a 14.
All right.
So
You hit twice.
17 and a 14, so 2d6.
2d6.
That first one's a 3, and the last one's a 6. So that's 9 points altogether.
Nice. Oh,
Can I take a chance and shoot at long range too, or
If you want to shoot at medium range, you can.
can
The
I get
plus
him?
one- You'll be able to shoot at him. If you shoot at your medium range, you can shoot before he shoots.
Okay. I'll be at what, +1? You
Yeah.
said? So I'll be +3 total.
9 damage
Yes.
to take him down.
No, yeah, not a hobgoblin.
15 and a 7.
You hit him once.
Okay.
It's gonna be close.
8 points of damage.
That should be good.
He's down.
Redcon.
I told you the ancestors would hear me.
Yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky. Boom. So he goes down. Actually, he was the runtiest of the hobgoblins. Lucky for you. So his horse rides off without him on it as he falls off of it with the arrows. He missed. So that means you didn't get critical, John.
Yes, I know. I kind of did the reverse on all of that. And once
Safety.
again, I give a wink to Heath Stag and Death Crow. They have proven quite adept with those bows.
Yeah. All right. So the spearmen are going up for charge.
But I still have time to let that spell go.
You do before they get there.
Well, I still have my bow as well, so whenever.
Okay.
So seeing as how the
All right.
ranged
up.
threat got taken care of, I'll shift to one of the spearmen that's moving towards us, and I'll have the newt cast Produce Flame
Mm-hmm.
when they get within 40 yards.
Okay.
So I'll be able to cast the first one. It's a 7. I think that hits.
And this is on one of the barbarians. I mean the Agavul.
This is on the hobgoblins that are still down.
You were on the west side facing. I thought you were facing the wolves, right?
No,
Oh, no,
I
you're
was-
right. You're right. You're
yeah,
on
I
the
was
goblins.
east
You're
side.
right. You're right. My bad. Tell me again. Damage.
It was a 7 to hit.
You have to roll the hit.
But you said that if you cast a spell, you got to roll the
Oh yeah, you're rolling. That's only to see if you fumble or crit. So yeah, your spell goes off.
Okay. Gotcha. Then yeah, so it'll just be 3 points of fire damage,
Okay.
and it ignites anything in a 3-foot diameter on the center of the impact.
He's got some furs. He's leaving a smoky trail now.
Wonderful.
All right. Elawe.
I'm going to spend 2 hero points before my roll to bring me down to, I think, an even 40.
Are you shooting?
Yeah, using my short bow at the nearest Ugavul barbarian.
All right.
That's a 14 on the dice plus 2.
hit.
Cool. What's the shit? I forgot the
One
dice
die
on
six.
this.
One
Thank
die
you.
6.
Kayla, do you not have a dex bonus too, or the +2 was your dex bonus? Did you use the bless as well?
Oh, I didn't use the bless either, but
You hit anyway, but just for
You
the
hit.
next.
thank you for the bless. And then, yeah, I did
You
have my
missed
dex
without
bonus.
it. If you had no pluses, you would have missed.
Gotcha. Okay. On the dice, the damage was 4.
All right. Ow. He's like, oh. They have wooden shields out.
Oh wait, actually, is that the same dice for the metal? The D6, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just making
They
sure.
just they have a higher chance of surviving.
I'm gonna write that down. Boop, thank you.
They just have a higher chance of surviving.
You get 2 shots, right, with your bow?
Yes, you can fire
I do.
twice.
Okay. I will go ahead and spend 5 hero points before my roll.
Ooh.
The dice on the dice was a 4.
But you
Can
get
I use a special to re-roll?
Yes, you can.
I minus 15 points from my pool now.
Yeah.
It's 14 on the dice. Plus the bless.
You hit.
Okay.
Nice.
Now you can also add regular hero points to your damage too.
Touche. I rolled a 6 on the dice though, so
All right. Oh, you shot him good. He's hurting. Okay. Anyone else
Awesome.
not gone yet?
Yeah, I haven't fired my bow yet.
Um,
Using both of my pristine eyes to sight, I will fire the first arrow. That is a total of 13. No, I'm sorry, with the ancestral, that's 14.
In the bless?
Yeah, I counted the bless, but I have to add my ancestral aid. That's toward one of the horse-mounted hobgoblins,
you hit.
the one closest to me. All right, and on the second one, that's going to miss. That's a 5. All right, so D6, 4 plus 1 for the ancestral, that's 5. Bless only adds to hit,
You
not
hit.
to
Right. Yep.
ancestral adds to both.
Oh, you got him good. He's wounded. He's not happy about it. All right. The two of the hobgoblins are aiming at some of the smaller people. One of them is charging Chief Stag. Beard.
What? Don't charge me.
Chief Stag. You took 5. You got
5?
3. John misses you. And Patrick hit.
How many are there?
How many are there?
Yeah,
6.
6.
We're in
So
trouble.
5 now.
We be in trouble.
You're at 1 hit point.
I'm at 1?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So they run into you. They stab. The horses kind of move forward or whatever. They're going to be dismounting or switching weapons because now that they did that charge, their spears are a little bit tangled up with you guys. The other barbarians coming from below, coming from the south. 2 of them are charging at Alawe. No, 2 are charging Monkey Boy, and he is struck but not down. And Ilawe, I'm sorry. Critical hit.
Oh man.
I'll use a special to undo it.
No.
I can't.
Nope. I don't. That's what Jade. I don't allow you to affect. You can affect your rolls, but not other people's rolls.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's kind of my thing too.
I'll see you in Valhalla.
His spear slams in the side of your face, close to the angle of your lower jaw, splitting and fracturing it near the hinge of the mouth.
Oh.
Oh,
You are stunned.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, and it's triple damage.
Triple damage.
Ouch.
All right, Ilawe, you are at 1 hit point.
Okay.
he stabbed you in the face, which actually is the perfect place to stab somebody with the spears in the face.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you're casting your spell.
Yes.
We'll see if they save.
Do you want me to do the roll?
Oh yeah, do your roll and see if it's a.
A 3.
All right. Okay. 2 of the dire wolves are engulfed in the grasses and bushes and they're not moving. The other 2 are slowed. So they're like, so they're held back. On the you can kind of see the way the ground is thrashing, the vegetation is thrashing where your entangle spell ends. And the old man has gotten the kids to move forward to that line with all their spears. So there's like a bristling wall of spears towards the 2. You heading out? All right. Holding them off.
Nice.
Initiative.
I lost, so someone else
You
has
lost.
Who's next?
Lawe, you want to roll?
Sure.
Beat a 2.
5.
You win. You're stunned this round.
Mhm.
Elytron.
Alrighty, I'm gonna hurl another bolt of flame, this time at the wolves that are caught in the entangle.
How are you doing this?
How closely bunched are the horses? Like, would I be able to
Well, I mean, are you
turn in?
how, is this is not a spell though, right?
This is still part of the produced flame. You get to hold it for as many turns as there are levels for casting it, and since it's a fire spell, it's treated as if
Okay.
I'm casting it
All right.
third. So
There you go. All right. That is correct. The hobgoblins are engaged. The barbarians have just stabbed all the way in the face, and Monkey Boy's fighting the other 2 of them. You're kind of between the hobgoblins and the barbarians.
okay.
You have options, is what I'm saying.
All right. Because we have a lot here on the eastern side, I'll shoot some fire at one of the barbarians that are moving towards Alawe. That'll be 4 points of fire damage.
All right. You between the arrows and the fire damage, you basically set his face on fire and his beard and hair all get engulfed, and he falls off his horse and rides on the ground and expires.
Wonderful.
His horse rides off.
Nicely done.
Yes. Jaffe, you have entangled the 2 of the wolves fully. The goblins aren't getting off. They're like freaked out. The other 2 wolves are like coming forward. I told you little spear wall is being set up by all the other kids with the adult leadership. What do you do?
I'm joining the spear wall.
Ooh. All right. I like it. Patrick. Death Crow.
2 shots at the closest hobgoblin.
Yeah, one of them is getting down because he wants to cut off some of those kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna do up him.
Dismounting. You get a shot. 2 shots if you want. He's very close.
Okay, so +4 is a 16 and a 17. You still
You
there?
hit.
Yeah, okay.
So you know that's 4 dice 6 plus 8.
Yep. 8 and 7 is 15 plus 16 is 30. Math.
You killed him so hard his child died.
Oh, I didn't mean to hurt his child.
His hobgoblin child died somewhere else. John.
All right. So the remaining hobgoblins, the riders, are how close to us now?
They're even with you. Some of them are like a little bit past you because their horse carried them past you. They're dismounting. They're almost among the kids and gear. It looks like the responsible ones are turning towards you guys instead of the kids in the gear.
All right. Well, I'm gonna close on the one I already hit with an arrow.
Okay.
And I'm
He
gonna.
has a scimitar out now.
I am using a hand axe. but I have this handy new metal hand axe. I really like it. And that is an 18 on the die. That's definitely a hit. So damage with a metal hand axe still D6, correct?
Yep.
All right, and strength bonus plus, so it'd be a total +2 with my ancestral bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you have a strength bonus.
I thought I have 15 strength. That's right. +1.
Yeah, there's no strength bonus with 15 strength.
It's not a +1.
Nope.
Not-
That's 16.
Not in 1 and 2.
But you still have the ancestral.
Yeah. All right. So a total of 5 when I hit with the arrow.
He had a scimitar out, and you batted it aside, and you caught him right on the side of the neck. And you see bright red arterial blood spraying out. And he kind of just drops the sword, grabs his neck, and staggers back. And as he's on the ground, you see a couple of the 8-year-olds with spears go, and he gets a pincushion party.
I smile at the 8-year-olds. Well done, lads. This is the way.
Heave stag.
Yes.
There's actually only 2 hobgoblins left, an injured one and one that is uninjured.
It's shooting at the injured.
All right.
And that is a 10 on the die.
All right, you get 2 shots. You missed.
And the second one's a 15.
You hit. If you roll good enough, he's not a super powerful
I
hobgoblin.
rolled a 6.
All right. You hit him. He was getting his sword up, and you end up hitting him in the armpit on the left side, and arrow goes in almost to its fletching.
Ooh. He did.
And he opens his mouth to yell, but there's just a whole bunch of blood just comes spraying out his mouth as he drops onto his face. All right.
That's 3 kills from Mr. Disney.
Fully noted.
Hey, wait a minute. Those are shared kills, a few of those.
Well, wait a minute.
Still kills nonetheless.
Death Crow gets the overkill. He gets the overkill award for today.
No, I think Havestag though definitely has the.
He's got the
hand today. Yeah,
he's lucky.
He had the crit on the bear. He took the goblin warg rider out with 1 shot to prevent the scout from getting away. He's been on fire.
All right. Monkey Boy has been hit again. He's a little hurt, but he's holding his own. Next round, the dire wolves will be at the edge of the spear wall. So if there's something else you want to do, Jothi, you have that option.
I'll do an invisibility to animals.
Okay. Because they can't smell you either, can they? I think invisibility animals, they just can't perceive you at all.
Yeah.
All right. The hobgoblin, the biggest hobgoblin, who was he was all super happy as he came over, and then everything went to total crap on him. He hopped down off his horse, and after this round, he hops back on his horse, and he's heading due north. He's going to try to put kids and horses between him and the archers. And the two barbarians look like they're going to try to pull another fast one as well.
Hey Tim, add 10 regulars for Kayla and 1 for you.
Oh,
That's it. We'll compile.
all right. Initiative. Beat a 1.
Oh, Kayla.
Kayla. I rolled a 1.
3.
You have initiative. All right. Elatron.
The 3rd and final bolt of fire at the fleeing hobgoblin.
Well, all your friends are between you and him.
Okay.
You can easily turn right and hit one of the barbarians.
Then a barbarian it is.
All right.
And that's 5 points of damage this time.
Okay. That's his. He's been whacked, but he's okay.
That is
All right.
all.
All right. We're going to do the spear wall, Jothi. The direwolf's getting close to the edge of the line. A bunch of people are stabbing at it. You have a choice to stab it or the goblin.
I'll go for the goblin.
Okay. Roll.
I'm gonna throw my hero points on it.
All right, you have 4 plus 4
Yes.
plus 5 for bless. And do you have ancestral accord too?
No.
All right, 5 plus 5.
I rolled a 2.
You miss. But he seems surprised. He was hoping that the wolf was going to take all the heat. All right. Alawe, you are no longer stunned, but you can't speak or move your jaw much. There's 2 barbarians fight. The barbarians are still on horseback. They didn't dismount to fight Monkey Boy, but they're like swinging at him from the horseback.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the nearest target with my bow and arrow again.
Okay, you're shooting in the melee.
Kayla, do you-
Yeah.
when you-
I will just turn and then aim
Oh,
at
you
the.
can re-roll. You have 17. Well, you have 2 specials and 17 hero points. So you could do, so for you, it's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and still shoot. It's a 15 on the dice. I'm just gonna.
Hit.
I don't have enough to pump 5 specials into it, so
You hit.
okay. 5 on the dice.
You get 2 shots.
The second one. 19 on the dice. I will pump a special into that to make a crit.
Specials are you let you re-roll. So you hit and roll damage. I do it a little bit different than Jay does.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and do 5 on
Good
the dice.
thinking though.
Mhm.
So just the damage.
Mhm.
1d6.
It was 5 on the dice again.
All right. Oh, he is hurt. He did not like any shot in his flank like that.
And
Rocco?
that'll end my
Oh.
turn.
Yep. Rocco?
All right, what's around me? What's left standing?
The leader is trying to ride away from you.
No, he's not.
He is past 30 feet away.
I'll try it anyways. He's at what, medium now?
He's a medium.
Okay, so he's +3 instead of +4.
Right. It is possible if you miss that you could hit something else, but I'm just letting you know.
Okay. Oh, lovely. I did miss, but I got an 18 on the other one.
Okay.
Can I use? I can't use anything to make that into a crit, can I? No.
Nope.
Okay.
So you hit.
Great. All right. So
Now you have 8 regulars. You could add those regulars to your damage. I'm just saying.
yeah, I'm going to add 5 of those.
All right.
So
Getting glory points.
oh, beautiful. 16 plus 4 is 20.
Now, you
plus
don't
5.
get double. You don't get double damage at medium. Just
No,
1d6.
Oh, 1d6?
Yep.
Okay, I'll re-roll. Okay. 5 plus 5 is 10.
All right, you hit him. He's wobbling in the saddle. John, looks
All
like the
right.
hobgoblins are dying, and there's 2 barbarians fighting Monkey Boy and Iloawe.
All right. So seeing the bad wound to Iloa's face, he's going to do 2 things. One, he's going to look at the children who have been pin cushioning the one that I felled, and he's going to say, "Young ones, secure the horses. Now, they are good mounts. We will keep them." And then I run toward the barbarian that is closest to Iloa.
All right, right now hers is dead because she was shooting the other 2 are fighting Monkey Boy.
Okay, then I'll run toward that one.
All right,
And I can close that distance and attack, correct?
you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, because the reality is, at this level, with the way we're structured, the bow is a much more effective weapon. I get 2 attacks with that bow, same damage. However, I really favor the melee combat. Red Fist does, and wants to be face to face with these guys. So he's going to
You get
forego.
to you get to feel it hit when you use your hand.
Exactly, the thunk, the blood. He's in that sort of battle lust now as he calls upon the ancestors. I'll spare your ears, but he once more gives that battle cry, and that is another 18 on the die.
If you roll, well, no,
that's
you probably not.
6 on the damage plus 1 for my ancestral. That's 7.
All right. You had 7 left. Because when you said 6, I was like, you can't get him. And then you're like, +1 for ancestral.
So I bury my hatchet in his neck while I'm screaming death to the fresh wind.
All right, and you can pull him off his horse with your axe.
All right, can I do like a Legolas moment here? Pull him off as I pull myself? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I rip him off the horse and throw his body down at my feet.
Okay, so Heapstag, your only possibility you see is the barbarian. You know that there's wolves. You hear those on the other side, but you're screened by all the horses. But you see one barbarian on horseback. He is in melee, so you're firing in the melee. So,
yeah, well, I'm going to throw my bow on my back and head towards Iloe and cast Cure Light Wounds.
Okay, so stowing your gear is going to take a half action. So you can drop it and then go do healing, or just run over to her to do healing and then do healing.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Just
All
run
right,
over.
so you move over. Cast that spell. Roll 1 die 20.
12.
All right. You cast that spell. Cure Light.
Yep.
All right. Alawe, you are at 7, but your jaw is jacked. Okay. The wolves are trying to bite some of the kids. All right. 2 of the wolves get out of the entanglement, but they've been very, very wounded. One of the goblins is dead. The other 2 are still being held in there. Initiative. Oh no, wait a minute. One barbarian spins his horse and rides off, and he's trying to turn in such a way where he's using the horse as cover. He's disengaging. He's the last one left. Is like not a goblin. Initiative. 6.
5.
All right. He's riding away. The one of the wolves is turning to flee with a goblin, and the other one is just trying to bite somebody and misses. Jothy, I believe you're right there. Are you going to stab the one? You had a free shot on the one fleeing.
I'm gonna stab the one that's trying to bite someone.
Yes, you can.
Nine. So +1 for the blast is 10.
Miss.
Is he flanking, perhaps?
Miss. Okay. Elawe, you feel a little bit better. It's almost impossible to shoot the barbarian riding away. You can shoot at the horse, but
Bye, horsey.
Oh no, really?
Mhm.
You're a druid.
I only like snakes.
she's a little bit bitter about that spear through the jaw.
That's a 17 on the dice.
You get 2 shots, so you hit it. You did hit it.
That's an 8 on that one. So I hit it once.
All right. Well, you can use a
All right, I can use
special
a
reroll.
I would like to.
Go ahead.
That one's an 18 on that dice.
So you hit twice. If you you have ancestral accord? No. All right.
I don't think I do. I have a 5 and a 3 on the dice. 8 damage.
All right. The horse is like the horse is hurt.
Bye, horsey.
Electron.
Seeing as how I just ran out of that flame spell, gonna survey the area, see that there's those wolves that are still here. Everyone else has kind of run away.
Yep.
I'm going to start channeling Air Fist.
Okay.
So mentally prepare myself and then get
Get
my
your-
reagents and then next
All right.
round.
Okay. Death throw.
Hey, can I still shoot at that guy riding away?
You can shoot at the horse.
Okay, shoot at the horse then.
Medium range.
Medium range. I rolled a 1.
Tim, Archer fumbles.
I rolled a 9 with the other one.
Fumble Archer. Roll percentile, please.
No. See, I told you I miss. Search is free.
63.
Yep.
Arrow shatters, catching your arm with jagged splinters. You take 1 hit point of damage and you're stunned next round.
I am unconscious.
Oh my. You only had 1 hit point. That's right.
You had 1 hit point. You're like, Death Crow's like, You're down. You know,
I
you're
took
basically going
myself
into
out.
shock. Oh. you go into shock. All right. Red Fist.
So the one that Jothi tried to hit and missed, that was, you said, quote unquote, going to bite someone. I'm assuming that was a child that he was after, correct?
Yes, that's on the other side. That's on the west side where that fight is.
Is there any? So are there any other? The last barbarian left. They're all shooting at the horse. Can I see on the west side where this one is at? The one that's trying to bite a child.
You can see where he's at. Yes, he's like in the mix. He's like a little gang around him because he's fighting and they're surrounding it, trying to stab it.
All right.
And there's 2 more that are entangled out in the field there, sitting there. But that entanglement's not going to last forever.
Also to the west.
Yes, they never made it. They got entangled and held in place.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to close on them then.
Well, you're going to go into the entanglement?
Yep, I am. I'll come right to the. Actually, what I'll do, I'll come right to the edge of it, and I'll pull out my short bow, and I'll pop them
All
twice
right.
with the short bow.
So you move forward and get the short bow out. All right. Eve Stag. Well, you can fire next round.
Okay.
Eve Stag, you can. You see that one barbarian hiding behind his horse. You can take a shot at his horse if you'd like.
All right, let's do that.
Well, he's getting away.
I got a 19. Man, I'm rolling good today.
You hit.
And that is another 6.
All right. So if you roll good enough,
What do you mean?
you-
I just
if
rolled.
you roll high enough for the damage, you will take the horse down.
I just rolled 6, the highest I can
Oh,
get.
damage! I thought you were rolling to hit again. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm rolling twice to hit.
Yeah, you get 2 shots.
Second shot's a 10.
Okay. Well, the horse is like it stumbles to the ground and rolls over onto the barbarian who's stuck under it now. Because he was hanging on the side and the horse fell over.
Go coup de grace that thing.
Okay, cool.
It's only 800 or 900 pound animal on him. It's fine. All right. So the wolf is biting a kid. There's a couple kids there that are pretty bad off. One wolf got away, and there's some spears getting thrown at it, and some of the old timers shooting at it. So, and it one more. I think this will be the last round. I rolled a 2. I think someone else rolled, right? I
Yeah,
won last
so
time?
let's go. Mike Disney, you roll for us.
Sure.
Beat a 2.
And I rolled another 6.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dice are on fire tonight.
The reason I asked you to roll, my friend, your dice.
What
are
I'm
hot.
going to do is this. All right. Based on the fact that all the people with spears, everyone with a bow, there's no other targets. We're just going to say that you guys end up peppering the crap out of the 2 that are held, and the last of the wolves get massacred.
Hello.
And the goblin. What?
I got you. I know you're out. I got you. As soon as we can, I'm gonna heal you.
Yeah. So we're gonna assume that you just massacre them. Because
We're gonna try to spare one. One of those ones that's in the entanglement. I'm gonna ask everyone to hold, and as soon as that entanglement is gone, I'm gonna run that little sucker down if he tries to get away because there's no way.
You talking about the goblin?
Yeah, the goblin. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, they can't get away.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep one alive, and I'm gonna run him down.
All right, you got them, and they can gather up the horses except for that one.
Okay.
So you can get their horses.
So how many horses in total do we get?
7.
Perfect.
It'll take you the rest of the day to gather that up, move a little bit. You have to bury a couple of the young people.
Oh, what? Really? What?
They got bitten up by the wolves.
I didn't hear that we had 2 die or 2 were hurt.
A couple of the kids got massacred. Yeah. Hey, it's dangerous business.
Wolf chow.
Wolf chow. So what we'll do is so Jay doesn't get in too much trouble, we're going to go ahead and just do the summary here. Is that once you have reorganized, healed your people, you have horses now, so you can carry your injured people, can ride. You can also scout a lot easier now that you have horses to ride, and make sure that you wend your way carefully, taking your time, avoiding hazards. Live up the land by hunting, because you do run into a couple other herds, and we'll make it back in time to deliver your supplies. And they had moved up the river, so you met them at the new location where they were going to be at. And they are very, very happy to see you.
It better be.
You have barrels of salted meat. You have a lot of dried meat. You have a lot of, and you had
90 remaining axes.
Actually, half of it is missing, and we have really fat little kids now.
Well, they don't like that salted meat that much. Very salty. So you have achieved your goal. You have achieved your goal. So there we go. I was going to have them carry you the whole entire time and then try to get you really, really spread out. But
Well, I had a devious plan for how I was going to counteract that, but I'm not going to share that with you now, Tim. I still
hunger, tell no one.
I still want to question these tribal elders. Why on earth did you send the children with us as we headed into danger instead of keeping them with the main party as you moved up the river?
Well, they had no supervision. You were the ones kind of supervising.
Field trip.
Look, they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough people to guide the mules. They were capable of doing that, and they were worthless in the camp.
Those 8 to 12-year-olds were worthless with us.
No, they weren't. They were guiding them. They had to pull the pack animals. They had to keep everything in order.
Teenagers too, right?
All the work that you didn't do on this trip, they did, and there was a lot.
Okay.
Well, good. The teenagers.
Good. I'll keep a couple with me. I need a barbarian squire.
Yeah, teenagers are decent. Like, they can be pretty effective.
Well, yeah, the young ones can make sure the animals are fed, make sure they're watered, pull them along, make sure they don't wander off, keep an eye out.
Sure.
There's lots of things they can do, and you had 40-something pack animals.
39
pack animals.
Thanks, Tim. Thank all the players. Great job.
Yes, very good. 59 pack animals total. So that's why they were there. And they're expendable because they were from the Tents of Lament, frankly.
And the deity drops in from the sky.
Yes, with my orange shirt on. Notice I'm dressed to go out here. So
all right.
So look, good timing. Thank you, everyone. So let me do the giveaways real quick. For $25 gift certificate to Troller Games, and your choice of one of these two, very nicely donated, of course, by Patrick. If you want to go the Necromancer Games route, the Book of Taverns, which is awesome. I love this book. Or the Greyhawk, The Adventure That Begins. So we'll do 2 giveaways there. And you can make your own decision with what you want there. And don't forget, tomorrow night, I got Christine Van Patten on with Mike Disney and Build-A-Master Crafter. It's going to be a great show.
Hey, Jay.
Awesome.
That's right. You better tune in, too.
Yes. Yes, sir, Patrick. What's up?
If Damn. Casey
Brown
is in the audience.
He's
He's
not-
not allowed getting in on those draws.
He's not. He's out somewhere with his wife, and he knew we were streaming, so he logged on and hit the drawing button.
No way.
I guarantee you. That's Casey. You know, we'll have some fun with that there. All right, so I'm going to close this out unless we got anyone last second here. Sorry about the technical issues. I got to figure out. Zoom is bizarre. I can't like this. It's not XSplit. It's the Zoom screen outside. If I even touch it, it like freezes the system, and I got like no GPU or CPU bottleneck. I can't figure it. I got to go onto their forums and see what's going on with them. Maybe there's a conflict between XSplit and Zoom I'm not aware of. So let me. Who knows? Let me finish this out here. Closing this out. All right, here we go. Here, first winner is Cannibal Troy. Very cool.
Oh.
I'll get yes. Wow, there you go. Yes.
Just wrapping up.
Congrats.
Oh, my
Troy,
goodness.
I bet you, Troy, you want this because you don't have this. I guarantee you want this. The Book of Taverns? Yeah. I guarantee you want this because you don't have it. This is cool, man. Trust me. Not going to answer game stuff. Yeah, there you go. All right, so that's the first winner. Second winner is going to win the $25 gift certificate to Troller Games. Can't go wrong there. You can get whatever you want. So, second winner. Pat 66. Congrats.
Oh,
Rigged.
There you go.
Rigged.
There you go. So, Pat 66. All right, so Pat, I will whisper you probably right on the Twitch whisper, or I'll find you or your Discord. I'll get you the code. It's $25. Just go to the Troller Games store, put it in. $25 off. So thanks all for a great game. That was cool. I don't know when the next meeting is. We'll get together with Tim and discuss that. I know it probably won't be until the September though, right? Tim, I don't think August is going to work for either of us.
no, not really.
Yeah, it's probably going to be September at some point into the school year. So I know I'm on vacation the last 2 weeks and I know Tim's wife comes back from overseas. What in a week and a half? So
Yeah.
So thanks everyone. Thank you. Here, one last thing. Shout outs. John, please follow John at Blue Box. Please follow Kayla, Time Lord's
At the
wife.
other blue box.
Yes. Please follow Mike Disney. And who else am I missing? Did I miss Anna's on. I saw Anna on too. Anna's been here all day. Please follow Anna. I saw Frank from Nightheart Gaming hop on. So if I missed you, I apologize. But you know, we really have
Whole journey, 11 days.
a great community here. And lastly, virtual Greyhawk Con. All your best friends are DMing with open games, open slots. Blue Box, Time Lord's wife. Mike Disney's got a seminar. Anna's got a seminar. I have a game, the Grand Melee. Tim's got a game with open signups. Every single live stream has open signups on that schedule that's been scrolling through. Every one. But you got to be on. Yeah, Bill already said it. You got to be on, though, and because the registration starts at noon, August 15th for those games. So you got to be registered before then. And tomorrow night, Christine Van Patten. All right, we'll see you. Thank you. Enjoy your day. It's lovely here today. I'm going to go out and eat somewhere outside.
Nice.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you
Thanks.
all for the
Thank
great
you.
support,
Thank you all.
and see you in August, which is tomorrow. So let me hit the wrong button here, like I always do. I'm gonna raid in the Nikki Nerds out. All right.
If Cannibal's listening, they've got a new Monster Manual free at the drive-through RPG.
Oh, really?
Oh, what, the expanded? The expanded one?
Yeah, they got a third one now.
They must have
Looks
just
good.
released that. They must have
Yes.
just released it.
Yeah,
Thank you for saying that, Pat.
it looks good.
I'm gonna have to go get it.
Oh, Jonathan, I guess I can just say this to you rather than type it. I'm showcasing the monster that I created for Carlos, so I got permission
5,
from him
4,
to show off that monster.
3,
Very
2,
Nice.
1. See you tomorrow. Enjoy Nikki.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Thank you all. I'm still here.